I'm Rezlar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. We are back. We took last week off for the Super Bowl, obviously. Spoiler, Florida finally won. Tom Brady brought it home for his new country. So congratulations to Nyashi, I suppose. It's the second Super Bowl, right? Isn't it y'all's second Super Bowl win, I think? Or is it the first?
Nyashi wouldn't know that, but yes.
It's the second for the Bucks.
Nyashi also
so
told me that it was amazing that all four of Florida's major sports teams won this year, and I double-checked his work, and that is incorrect. 2 of the 4 won. But still,
I said
still
it was
cool.
a dream.
I never saw the words. It was a dream. You said it to me in a private call.
Why is there 3 NFL teams in Florida? I feel like you don't need that many.
I don't know. They want to do. They're trying to do the whole like. I don't know. Just get like some of these
Well,
people.
Dolphins haven't counted since the 80s, so.
They're trying to get people interested in American sports in other countries, so they put it in Florida.
California's got a bunch too, but teams move to California and then they leave California like 5 years later because they're like, "Oh, this place sucks."
If you're gonna consider Florida its own country, aren't we considering California its own country too?
It might as well be, yeah. Anyway, this is a BDO podcast, so me and Nyashi haven't played BDO for 2 weeks, but still, we got some stuff to talk about. We're gonna give our uninformed opinions on these things, on these matters at hand. We're all playing BDO right now, so that's important. But first, before we get to that, I want to thank our lovely patrons: Britton Clark, Infrax, Wine, Auscultation, I Has Issues, Jeremy Johnson, Lord Carrot, Mayo Knight, Minaria, Ponism, Sinvala, Slytech, and Talus Acceptum. Thank you guys and everybody else who supports us on the Patreon, and everybody who supports our individual streams. Appreciate you guys and all that you do. So the first thing we have on the list is defense icons. They're in the game. They've changed slightly. How do we feel about them?
They've changed, and even though we couldn't get it to work in Global Labs when we were testing it 2 weeks ago, they do work in Battle Arena when you can see other players in Battle Arena, not just your own.
I did see that, yeah.
And they changed the iframe one, and they also made them not pulse. They're solid.
Yeah. Well, they still pulse. It's just
they fade instead of fading to like 20% opacity, they fade to like 95.
Right.
Like
yeah,
it is very
definitely
slight.
Significantly better.
Yeah, it's way better, yeah.
Than how your demonstration went in Global Labs a couple weeks ago.
I also think that the changing of the iframe icon is better. This new one is a lot better than the old one, because the old one was kind of weird looking. Didn't really make a lot of sense because it was like, wasn't it like a shield with a cross through it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is different. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and this is definitely a way better icon for iframing because it perfectly represents how iframers feel when they're in iframe, that they don't give 2 shits about anything that's happening because literally nothing can touch them. It's the most broken protection in the game. So it's pretty accurate.
Dude, I honestly don't understand the icon. It's so weird that it's a guy shrugging or a human shrugging.
You know what they should do? You know how we can change the image in our profile pic for our characters?
Let us customize them.
Let us customize our own defense icons. Please. Could you think of all the meme fucking things you would put up there?
And I will say, although I haven't really been playing this game, especially since Valheim came out, like I've been spending way too much time on Valheim. Sorry for the people that come to streams. I haven't streamed lately. I will say that in the short amount of time that I've played this game, that I've been PvP'd in this game since this change came out, the amount of people that have already been like, dude, what the fuck? The fucking emblem's there. I'm protected. Like, it's so funny. It is so hilarious to me.
Hell yeah. And it makes it even more exaggerated because sometimes the emblem stays stuck there after you've been CC'd. So you can iframe, get grabbed, and you'll see the iframe icon next to you sometimes for the entire time you're in the combo.
That's pretty bad.
Which is pretty nice. It lets you know you tried to iframe, but you didn't quite get there in time.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say though,
funny. I hope somebody puts in the effort to make a huge compilation of like streamers and shit like that of people just being like, that said it was protected, and just like fucking like yelling about it.
Yeah, I've already like kind of stopped looking at them unless I'm like trying to think about something.
As soon as I did a few duels with them, I immediately turned them off. It's just too distracting.
Is it? See, I don't know. I was able to like.
Well, I guess in BA it's too distracting because I'm just like, I'm seeing so many all over the fucking place, and it's just like obnoxious.
So here's my only actual issue with it, because I actually think that the icons are really good. And I think it's really nice for learning a class and learning what your opponents do in Battle Arena and stuff like that. My only real problem with it is that the sizes don't change based on distance. Yeah. So people that are far away in Battle Arena have these massive freaking icons for no reason, and those are distracting.
Yeah. And I mean, I agree. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a very good implementation. I like the changes that they did to it to make it more pronounced and, you know, a little bit easier to understand some of them. When they're pulsing and whatnot, you can't tell if it's actually in protection or not. But I think overall it's a good mechanic. I just don't think it's for everybody. I think for me personally, it's just not one of those things that works well for me.
Did any of you guys find protections that are not in your tooltips?
I don't think I actually explored that far into it, to be honest.
We sat trying a bunch of different classes like the day it came out, and there's actually quite a few on Kuno that are not there. For example, Ghost Greeting has a little like 0.1 second iframe in it every time you use it, even when it's on cooldown on both Ninja and Kuno. I don't know if it's significant enough to ever really save your life because it's so like it flashes for such a short second. Another one is
some damage, but not a lot.
No. Yeah, it could like save you by chance, right? Like if you're about to get CC'd by something. Another one is Oni Shadow and Sinew Cut. Both also have that same like duration iframe. And then the other major one is fucking Prime Crescent Slash. Actually has protection, and it's not on the tooltip whatsoever. It has it's unprotected on the startup when you're like spinning your sword around, but when you're moving, it's an iframe, and on the strike, it's super armor, which is kind of interesting and crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
I
wonder if this is incorrect or if this is right. And I tested it a million times. Like, there's no way to get CC'd out of it as long as you connect it with something else that's safe right after.
There was one time I was fighting a Guardian, and he was lingering an ability. Normally, I would have thought it was protected super armor, but I saw the icon disappear, so I stubbed it real quick just to do a super armor check, and sure enough, he got CC'd, so I was like, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, dude, watching Guardians fight is funny because those icons are always there.
Yeah. Speaking of, I know it's not exactly breaking news, but Suck Wizard, man, that class is fucking busted. So I went into BA on Tuesday whenever the change first came out, and it was me and a couple other people in the guild, and we were watching a Suck Wizard who was like on the other side of the arena, but we could see his icons from all the way over there. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus fucking Christ, it's so insane. It's like a Guardian. It's damn near as protected as a Guardian whenever they're just running around fighting. It's insanity.
Yeah, they have some interesting lingers. For sure. Dude, the Hashashine...
unnecessary lingers.
The Hashashine Succession backwards dash linger is actually insane, too. It's super long.
Also, I didn't test around with it that much on Zerker, but one of the things that I did notice, because I was like, I need to test this right away, is the iframe on Giant Leap.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zerkers have had a theory for a long time now that the iframe is only at the peak of the... at the jump, basically, like the apex of the jump, and we were right and we were wrong. It's only at the peak of the jump, but it lasts until you hit the ground.
And then it's
so
SA.
basically,
is it SA again when you hit the ground, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
essay, but the animation doesn't last very long. You can't like linger it or anything. But anyway, so yeah, so even though it says iframe while moving, it actually isn't an iframe until essentially you're halfway through the jump,
Right.
which is like mildly infuriating, but sure, I guess. So yeah, finally figuring out the mystery of how that shit works. So
That shakeoff iframe is not as bad as I thought either.
yeah, you can actually let it linger a little bit, and I mean, it basically confirms what we've been thinking for a while now, which is if you get CC'd out of your shakeoff iframe, it's just desync. It's not that the iframe doesn't work, because I sat there and tested it for a good like 5 minutes. It's just desync.
We found a side by side that was kind of interesting with bladers. That the blader iframe on chase is actually longer than ghost step. Isn't that interesting? Oh, the other thing that was interesting about bladers is...
I also find it interesting how I'm always caught out during it too. It's weird.
Yeah, it's Florida, dude. It's hard to... It's those C cables, dude. Those C cables to our country, man. It causes a bunch of latency.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Hey, by the way, the other thing that was kind of interesting about Musa Mewa, I'm going to have this backwards, but one of them... Let me see if I get this right. I think Musa has a linger on back chase that's long, and Mewa has one on forward chase. Do I have that right? Or is that backwards? Which is kind of weird, but they both don't have what the other one has.
Both their chases are different slightly.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is kind of interesting thing. I think I have that right.
Wait, are you talking about Awakening or Pre-Awakening?
I think it was Awakening. Musa for sure Awakening. I don't know about Succession. Or about Mewa,
Awakening, Mewa's chases are shorter, but they last longer when you back chase. And Moose's, I think, is the reverse. But
maybe I have it opposite then.
Yeah,
no. It is the opposite. I think Mewa's is forward chase. I'm pretty sure because the I watched the Musa do back chase, and at the same time I was talking with the Mewa and they were testing theirs. Like, that's so weird. I don't have a linger on my back chase, but when I chase forward, I do.
Oh, you mean defense icon wise?
Yeah, defense icon. Like you see a linger at the end of it.
I thought you were talking about like the animation lingering, like
no.
The Mewa's back chase on Awakening, it does a little bit of a linger.
Oh, I see. No, I just meant the actual defense icon.
Yeah, I don't know about the defense mechanic part, so there's probably a gap or something there in the animation with the protection.
Do you guys think that the icon should stay present even whenever like the person has disappeared? So like with how iframes work for like Sork and Ninja. And
well, how would that work?
Here's the problem.
Let it point out where they are?
Yeah, here's the problem. Yes and no. Like, yes for your own self, but no for what other people see. Because I keep seeing DKs tell me that airstrike isn't protected, and because it's like they don't explain that the icon disappears. Basically, it's tied to your nameplate. It's connected, associated with your nameplate. So if your nameplate, when you use an ability, when your nameplate disappears, the icon also disappears with it. Airstrike is 100% an iframe while moving. When you are invisible, you are invincible. It's just that it doesn't show the icon because your nameplate has disappeared. So, or invisible, however you want to phrase that. But yeah, I think for yourself it should show, just so people don't get confused. And then for other things, like, I don't know, it's like you shouldn't see it on other people, because one of the things I noticed when like dueling on a hash is in the tornado, you're super armor, right? And even though it doesn't show your nameplate when you're in a tornado, you do see the giant super armor icon floating around in the tornado. Like the other person sees it, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it really points out where you are.
Yeah, Nocturne doesn't show it either. It just shows it when you're going into the iframe and when you're coming out, but it doesn't show it while you're invisible, even in Succession. Like when you're just sitting there invisible, it doesn't. It's when your nameplate is there and when it's not. That's how it works. It's based on your nameplate and what you can see. So yeah, I don't know. I do think it should show it for yourself, but not for other people. I don't know if that's possible for them to work out, but it has caused a bunch of confusion.
They're gonna try to make that, and then the fucking stable keeper in Kepler is gonna turn invisible.
Yeah, our bombs will stop working. We'll have to rebind rage transfer. You never know, dude. Anyway, overall, I kind of like it. I think it's actually really nice for people learning matchups or trying a new class.
Yeah, it's also, I think it's really good for new players, or not even necessarily new players, but players that are trying to get into PvP and don't just like know all the protections on, most skills that you kind of have to memorize if you're going to really get into PvP. Because it really helps them kind of like learn that kind of shit and kind of visualize like, oh, okay, this is that, this is this, yada yada.
Here's another fun one that we discovered. Your favorite, Mass Destruction. So Striker and Mystic Mass Destructions are totally different. The Striker one, the SA lasts. If you don't have the attack speed buff from Crouching Wolf, like you're just base attack speed, the Mass Destruction Linger lasts all the way until Mass Destruction is off cooldown again.
Really?
So, like, Rage was using it. Like, there is, like, a point, like, it's like a 0.1 second time frame where you're not protected going from mass to mass.
Wait, so you're telling me one of the most...
in between.
You're telling me one of the most busted classes in the game is busted? Holy shit, dude. Who would have guessed?
Those are your words. I did not say either of those things. It's a strong class. I don't think it's one of the most busted in the game. But okay.
I mean, in 1v1s, it's definitely up there. In large scale, obviously, it suffers just like everyone else, every other melee class, but...
Lon has...
Work.
There's a few,
we'll just say they do work.
There's a few, yeah. Lon has a perma SA. I mean, I don't know. The perma SA rotations are on quite a few classes. Lon, Mystic, dude, Soul Basher and Scissor Kick on Mystic. Those lingers are kind of nutty. Yeah, I think Lon is, if you connect Blade of Blood with Sacred Dance, like you only need to use one iframe in between, and you can basically infinitely rotate those things. I think it's Blade of Blood, Sacred Dance, and then the iframe.
That's a little ridiculous.
So it's interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff, and I don't know. Like I said, we'll see if it results in any changes or things down the road. I'm wondering with like the Crescent Slash thing on Kuno, if once they realize it's protected, are they going to add it to the tooltip or just remove the protection?
Well, they're probably going to see like, oh wait, that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. And then other things like, I don't know. We'll see what happens with when we get these new servers. If desync is like something people complain about a lot since they're getting caught out of their protections, maybe it'll be something they actually focus on. You know, some of us can drink.
The hope is there.
Press X to doubt so fucking hard on that one.
Hey, so whatever, dude. A boy can dream, can't he?
I'm dreaming real hard right now.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Anything else you guys want to talk about the protection icons? I do hope like some other classes that have explored show me some of the. There has to be other. If Kuno had 2 and Ninja had 2, ones that are not in the tooltip, there has to be some other class with 1 or 2. So I'm kind of curious what they are. And they might even be on skills that don't even like, you would never even think. Or just bad skills anyway. But who knows? We'll see. Okay, so Blackstar. We gotta talk about Blackstar main hand and Blackstar Awakening. So a test came out like a week ago. A guy
big and shiny himself.
Well, no. There was a test before that. Oh my god, what's the guy's name? Is the guy's name Wes? Does anyone know the original tester's name? I want to give him credit because he was the first person to discover it. But there was a person who did a test, posted it on Reddit, and explained how he did his test on Blackstar main hand, and showed that it has a hidden plus 2% critical hit damage modifier. Alterist. Okay, Alterist was the guy who did the test originally, and then like, you know, a lot of people don't know who he is, so as people are like, well, you know, it's probably fake, myself included, right? Because you could test it yourself, but most people won't. But then Big and Shiny did a test, and now everyone believed it. And yeah, Blackstar main hand has 2% additional critical hit damage that's not in the tooltip. It's just hidden. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm not surprised. Like, they have been more transparent with showing us all the hidden stats, but I know there's other hidden stats that we just don't see. Yeah, this is just a prime example of that. Honestly, like, is it a bad thing? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it gives people that have like Tet Blackstar a little bit more reason to stick to it, I guess, maybe. But rather than going straight to Penzarka, but
So I have a tinfoil on this one. It's a little bit tinfoily. I actually think that potentially, like, they actually didn't know. I think that there's a chance that it was like on the item when they designed it, and then they intended to remove it, but didn't.
they removed it from the text, but they didn't remove it from the actual item stats.
Yeah, because it seems so like, I know they still have hidden stuff here and there, but that one is so random because
it is random.
That one like is like one of these weird things that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to hide because it's like it's a really minimal stat, and like it doesn't make a big enough difference for it to be like, I don't know, it's just such a weird.
What prompted the player to actually want to test that? That's a real question. Like, what amount of damage was making him think that it was just like, no, this just isn't right. There's something different here.
Well, he's
Like-
probably just damaged. He's probably just damage testing Penzarka versus Tet Blackstar, and then he noticed that there was like some sort of difference. So then he just kind of went from there. Is what I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, what I would assume too. It's just a weird thing to like want to look into and discover. I don't know.
Right.
Like, you'd have to do such a wide like test of damage comparisons to really like notice that there is that 2% variant there that's just like random. And usually in tests, like when you're comparing that, you usually have a margin of error that you're considering. So a 2% crit damage, like that had to have shown, I would assume, more than just 2% in order to like prompt him to want to really dig into it, So I don't know. It's just interesting, that's all.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to point out. I want to go through Big and Shiny's test real quick to kind of, I don't know, just clarify some things. So some of his conclusions. So he also tested Awakening Blackstar, and Awakening Blackstar does not have any hidden critical hit damage. He also went and tested to make sure that the critical hit damage wasn't just PvE, and it was PvP as well, and confirmed that. And then he had a quote. Let me see if I could find the quote, because one of the big questions, obviously, is should you... All right, so here, someone asked, dumb question, but does this mean Blackstar is overall better than Zarka for PvP? And Big and Shiny said, and I was talking with Multi about this too, and he corroborated this, but basically, the 2% critical hit damage will at most be 1% effective increase to your damage. The difference of 2 human damage is a little bit less than this, which is the difference between Zarka and Blackstar, because Zarka has 2 additional all species damage. So he says it's a little bit less than this, but for most people, not 100% crit on all abilities will have other crit damage buffs, reducing the effectiveness of the 2% by a bit more. It should be similar. And then the other thing that Multi pointed out is that most people are running Garmoth's Heart and 2 special attack damage crystals. So essentially, you never really have 100% crit on a player. So the damage difference is either negligible or in some cases could be worse unless you get RNG carried on like a crit rolls.
Yeah, it slips through all the crits slip through the special evasion.
That all having been said, in PvE it makes it even better.
Yeah,
it widens
PvE. It kind of solidifies. Like if there was any argument before, then it's like
it widens the gap a lot more in PvE. But I don't think
the PvP it doesn't seem to matter whatsoever. Honestly, like it won't have any major impact on your fights.
All right, so let's do some hypotheticals. Let's pretend whether they made a mistake or not, they come out and say like that wasn't our intent. We did have this in beta testing, but we intended to remove it and didn't. Let's just pretend they did that. If that were the case, how should they address it? Should they just show it on the tooltip? Because I was thinking there's 3 possible outcomes if it was a mistake. If it was intended, then they should just show the tooltip, right? Obviously. But if it was actually a mistake and they just forgot to remove it, then they either A, just add it to the tooltip, B, remove it from the item, or C, be like, hey, we don't want to nerf anyone's weapon. It wasn't intended, so we're going to add 2% critical hit damage to Offen and Zarka as well.
I don't see them doing the last option at all.
Which one do you see them doing?
Them just adding it to the tooltip, basically. I mean, it's not going to have a huge impact, and we don't know how long that's already been in. It could have been something that got accidentally implemented when they added the 1 AP to it way back to make the Tet stronger, and maybe they just added the 2% crit damage to it as well, but it ended up going across the board. I don't know. Just speculating here, but it's the only time they've touched it recently, you know?
Yeah.
So it's the only thing that kind of like makes me think maybe that's when it happened, but I don't see them like changing our other main hands just to like quote unquote even it out, you know? I don't see that happening. I don't know. I think they'll just update the tooltip or remove it, one of the two.
Yeah. So,
or just be in complete denial and say you guys' math is wrong and we're Korea.
So Lordisner is saying it does matter which one, if you're actively trying to choose Zarka for PvP reasons, being it slide or not. But the thing is that, so if you're comparing Tet to a Pen Zarka, the second you hit C2 on your Pen Zarka, it's no longer comparable anymore. Zarka's just better. So in order for Pen to be comparable, it'd have to be, or in order for it to be actually as good as the Zarka in PvP, it'd have to go to Pen. And then at Pen, it's comparable to a C20 Zarka now. They're like even in PvP. But based on Kafrstone prices and the cost of a Pen Zarka, it's about 30 billion cheaper silver to get a Zarka to C20 than to buy a Pen Blackstar. But I guess if you're enhancing it. Well, yeah, because a Pen Blackstar is 99 bill, right? And a Pen Zarka is what, between 13 and 14 bill, and then you need the Kafrstones, which are about 2.5 bill each. So it's like 60 bill in Kafrstones or 65 bill to get it to C20. So it's like overall, it's a lot, it's cheaper and also just easier to get because Blackstars don't really sit on buy right now. So it's kind of hard to get them.
You gotta wait for another hammer event.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there is a clear difference though, like in PvE, like 100%.
It's a huge,
is better.
big difference for sure.
But PvP for sure, they're kind of evened out essentially. Hell, arguably, you could say the Pen Blackstar is actually better now, right? Because of this find.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't change. It's as good as it's been, but it's just better.
We know for sure it's a little bit more above, arguably.
You're talking about in PvE?
Well, no, in PvE it was 100% above.
In PvP, no, it only makes it even, basically, with Zarka. Because before it was behind because it had 2 AP less because of the all species damage.
Well, that doesn't equate to 2 raw AP though.
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean 2 raw AP?
It's human species damage, right?
Well, they have the 2. Well, yeah. It's so in total.
It's 0.85.
Right. It's 0.85
AP per species damage.
Right. But it still is about even, unless, like I said, that's why I was pointing out the crit rate thing. Because unless you have 100% crit rate on the entirety of your combo, it's not going to be more damage than a Zarka in PvP.
Yeah, for some classes, it probably won't feel the same.
Well, no classes, because special attack evasion negates critical hit damage. and almost everyone runs 30% at least, at minimum 10%, right? But a lot of people run 30%. So you're only going to crit 70% of the time. So that reduces the effectiveness of that 2%.
It does. But I mean, do you think 2 human species damage is going to equate to more damage overall in that 70% chance you're critting?
If your entire combo is 70%, maybe not. It might be equal to or slightly less. But if
I understand there's obviously some
but
combo
I don't
pieces
know
that
if
aren't.
you'd have to
100%
basically
crit.
one-shot somebody with 100% crit, whether it be one skill or the entire thing.
That's actually doable.
That is doable, I guess. Does Blooming have 100% crit?
Yes.
Is there anything that skill doesn't have?
Decap has 100% crit. Blooming has 100% crit. Let me see what else we got here. I buff with Blind Thrust for a 30% crit buff.
Dude,
and then add-on is another.
Nayashi's about to drop that oafen real fast.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see the math on even at 70%. I don't know if it's necessarily more because with your 100% crit skills, on average, you'd only be critting 70% of the time against a player.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. Hopefully, they add it to the tooltip, and explain themselves. I don't know. I guess like you kind of have to assume. I don't know. Do you assume the worst? Are they hiding this on purpose, or was this a mistake? Reslar, I'm curious how you feel because you're the resident. Not the hugest fan of PA. Is this hidden on purpose, or is this an oversight?
No, this is on purpose. But I have a question though. Does your opinion on the viability of the Blackstar in PvP, does it change whenever the new Node War system comes out and we get more critical hit damage with those new crystals?
Well, no, because those don't have any effect on this.
No, but what I'm saying is that like you're at that point, if you have a Blackstar, you're stacking critical hit damage, right? So now instead of just a meager like 2%, now you're getting up to, isn't it 4 different crystals, like total? It's like 2 different crystals. Obviously, you get 2 of each, which is 4%. So now you're up to 6%, right?
Mm-hmm. Plus an add-on. Yeah, but I mean, but it's still it's additive, right? So it goes up all the same. Whether you have it or not.
I guess.
Yeah, so they don't affect each other, I guess, in any meaningful way. But I do think like if you're an Awakening player, I don't know. That's the thing too. In PvE, if you're Awakening, it makes the Blackstar even more insane. If you main Awakening, since you're not really getting any of the main hand damage. Right? But the all species damage still affects Awakening and pre-Awakening and Succession. Oh, that was the other thing he tested, is to make sure that the damage affects Prime. Well, both PvP and PvE, and also Prime skills. And non-Prime skills and Awakening skills. Basically, it's 2% critical hit
Awakening
damage no
versus
matter what.
suck.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wonder why he would assume Prime would be different for some reason.
I think he just tested it just to see while he was there. You never know.
I think they'll probably add it to the tooltip, honestly. I think this was intentional. I think that this is another one of those, even though they quote unquote revealed hidden stats, like 3 years ago at this point, they still hide a lot from us.
So what's the point?
And this is just another thing that they hid.
Like if this one is intentional,
what's the point to hiding anything?
Well, when they hid everything, it was like their excuse was build diversity, but this doesn't really play into that because it doesn't really change anything. So that's why I don't really understand why this would be hidden, but not like other stats.
I think it's just an accident when they messed with the Tet Blackstar, and they did changes across the board probably initially, but then they probably reverted most of them, but then for some reason didn't notice this part, and it got through in the patch.
And why isn't there hidden crit on the Awakening version?
Because the default design probably was never intended to have that. That's why I'm saying, like, the only reason why I suspect is when they did the change to the AP for Tet Blackstar.
Is it maybe
they probably initially thought about doing a change across the board, but then they reverted the change on all the other.
Let me ask you this, because isn't it pretty common for Awakening people that use Awakening to get like the Blackstar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this maybe a way of like in a way trying to weirdly buff Awakening classes?
No.
Well, I mean, maybe.
And I mean, even if that's not intended, is that the effect of it?
I mean, but
the problem with
affects
Awakening
Prime.
classes isn't 2% crit damage.
But it affects Prime just as much. Or
It does, but isn't it more common for people with Awakening to get Blackstar main hand than Succession players for PvP?
I think it's more common for anyone that's willing to buy and afford it to get.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, since you're not really using the main hand damage in PvP as much.
I don't know. I'm throwing things out.
That's an interesting point.
But if that was the
case, I think the
mass
majority of players though are just they luck sacked into a pen Blackstar via the hammers, and that's it. There's like probably only, like a small percentage of players that actually own it that actually created it themselves.
Okay, J scrolls are actually busted at Thornwood. By the way, this is my 5th event this hour.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there ever is going to be a Fallen God weapon. Are we going to get this 2% crit on that?
There's definitely going to be a Fallen God armor or weapon. But about
I think there will be too. I think it'll be some elaborate fucking crazy thing you have to do in order to.
I have a feeling that we're not going to see it for a very long time though, because I think what's going to happen first is that they're going to do they're going to release the Fallen God in a similar way that they did Blackstar, I think, honestly. So they're going to do, it's going to be like chest first, and then what was it after that? It's going to be gloves, and then, or no, sorry, not gloves. It's going to be helmet, then gloves, and then boots, probably. And then maybe they release the weapon before they do boots, but unlikely. I think they'll probably do full armor first, and then they'll do weapons after that. But I mean, didn't they? I vaguely remember them saying that they think that they released Dead God too early. Didn't they say that at one point, like a while back ago? They said that they thought they think that releasing Dead God was a mistake and that it was too early to release it. Yada yada yada. This, that, and the other.
I don't remember them saying that. But
I vaguely remember them saying that, but maybe I'm crazy. But
I wonder why they would assume that it would be too early.
I don't know. They're pulling a console. They could be just pulling a console. Do you know console still doesn't have Caphras?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Ameo was asking me advice on gearing last night for console. And I was just like, I don't even know what you guys have. They don't have Vel's Heart.
Nope.
But they have Garmoth. They have Garmoth, but they don't have Vel.
No. They don't have Garmoth. They have a guild boss Garmoth. They don't have a world boss Garmoth.
Hold on, let me double check.
For console?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it's a guild boss.
At least I'm pretty sure that was what Talus told me the other day.
They have Garmoth. They just
the guy is literally saying, should I go for Garmoth Heart?
Yeah, they have Garmoth's Heart. Wait,
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, they just don't have world boss Garmoth. They have to spawn it.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said. Is that they don't actually have world boss Garmoth? They have guild boss Garmoth.
They don't have.
That's how they get the Garmoth Heart.
Yeah.
Through the guild boss, or he said that I think I remember him saying that like occasionally they'll get him as a world boss, but like it's like an event. Like he's not like a permanent fixture on console.
He's not a scheduled boss.
Yeah.
Weird.
So it's like
that is weird.
Dude, console gets so fucked. It is insane.
Yeah, they don't have Vel at all though, right?
That's I don't believe so.
Yeah, because he said for now the Alchemy Stone is what it is. They don't have Vel, so.
Oh.
But I wonder if the mythical fish are on console. Like the mythical fish that you can catch to summon.
They don't have fishing. I'm just kidding. Dude,
they're missing the entire life skill.
They don't have they don't have Vel's Heart. They don't have Caphras Stones. They don't have Star's End. They don't have Secrea. They don't have Odalita. Like they're really far behind.
Yeah.
They don't have Stars. They're not getting content as fast as I was.
They don't have Stars in. Think about that for a second. They do not. The best grind spot in the game on console is still Histria. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
They don't have distos.
Wait, hold on.
They're gonna get Star's End, but it's gonna be a guild boss. You know that thing that spawns randomly on your rotation every once in a while, the elite guy? They just get to spawn that guy and fight him once a week with their guild, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
Dude, I was trying to convince Talus to move to PC. I was like, dude, you need to move to PC. Like, actually, I'm not even like memeing. I was trying to convince him to do it.
Yeah,
because he's like, yeah, but someday we'll get it. I'm like, yeah, but when, dude? Like, you're waiting for this content to come out. You can just get a computer and have it right now.
Yeah,
Opie in my chat is saying that Dead God was really, honestly, too early because so many people just getting a free C20 armor piece with
Frosty. Didn't Perlibis at some point say that they believe they released Dead God too early? I swear to God, I remember them saying that.
Statement, but
I don't remember.
It makes sense.
I swear on my life, I remember them saying that at some point, like during a conference or something. They said something about they think they released Dead God too early.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, what's the harm? My question.
The console did, just as a reiteration, like a week ago, get 40% of their mobs back. That actually happened.
That is true.
It took like a year and a half, but they got 40% of their mobs back. And
well, it sounds like they fixed a lot of the lag issues then, right?
Well, it's because everybody's on next gen consoles, so people can get more than 10 FPS in grind spots.
It created an interesting problem though, because with the mob reduction, they also had a faster respawn rate. So Talus was explaining to me that Histria has like 7 Elton is kind of broken up into 2 different rotations that supports 2 people because of the respawn rate. And with the mobs coming back, that it doesn't support multiple people now. So it's actually kind of a weird juxtaposition they're in. Cuz like it'll benefit them everywhere else when it comes out, but at Histria specifically, they've like optimized these smaller rotations that are now not really viable.
While we're talking about inferior Black Desert platforms, did you guys hear that Fletcher is coming out on Black Desert Mobile?
I don't know what Fletcher is.
Yeah, Fletcher, dude. It's it's a new class.
Is it?
So for some reason, I have not paid any attention to Black Desert Mobile because I just have no interest in playing this game twice. But apparently the classes in Black Desert Mobile, this is what someone told me, are separated. So like the Awakening and Pre-Awakening are 2 different classes. So you have Archer, which is the Archer Pre-Awakening, and then you have Fletcher, which is the Archer Awakening.
Oh.
Interesting.
I see.
Which is really strange to me.
Wait, they're separated? The kids
they're separated? They're 2 different classes. Yeah.
But when I went on mobile and I started a Mewa, but it never really showed me an option to choose a Suck or Awaken Mewa.
Yeah,
or
because
how do they call it? Prime
the other Mewa was probably called something else, I bet.
Well, I mean, you can see the physical icons. I mean,
it's called Bloomwa because it only uses 1 skill.
Bloomwa. Actually, the Succession has some pretty crazy movement and whatnot in it. Like the way they did the movement in mobile is so much better for my class.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like I said, I've never even considered downloading Black Desert Mobile. So this is all just through a third party that was telling me this.
I was more or less curious to see what all the hype was about way back, so that's why I downloaded it.
All the hype.
I tried playing it, but it's just like
it did get hype. Yeah, it had a lot of hype before it came out. I tried it when it first came out too. It's a totally different game, so it's not really like playing the same game twice, but it's like, to me, it's just a less enjoyable. I cannot stand trying to control a character with my phone. It feels terrible.
Yeah, it does feel awful.
I was only interested in it whenever I thought that I was going to be able to play this game on my phone. You know what I mean? Like connect to like my account, you know, do some grinding for, you know, 20 minutes while I'm waiting for a class or something on my
Well,
phone.
with Zerker, I guess you could.
Yeah, you could. And then I found out like no, it's a completely different thing, and I was like, oh no, thank you.
You literally just fucking spin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool. Like Genshin Impacted.
Yeah, exactly. Except
All right.
Genshin was weirdly designed to be like a game that is played on both PC and mobile.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. So about a week ago, 5 days ago, during one of the KR updates, they got a little note, and now this is Google translated. I don't know if there is an official translation that we have. I don't think so yet, but if we do, someone share it with me, please. Otherwise, I'm going to have to trek through this guessing what they mean. But basically, they kind of just touched on some of the stuff that they talked about at the Calpheon Ball. They show this teaser image of deep sea horror and say that your view will basically be like blocked. This is one of the dungeons. This is the hardcore dungeon or whatever that they're working on. And this teaser image shows like it looks exactly like Secrea.
Can you link what you're looking at?
Yeah, but the vision range is limited. Very limited. Yeah. Let's see. And they say the monsters will use diverse patterns. So I guess this is still being worked on. It's on its way. So that's one thing. The other thing is the Ataraxian desert themed boss zone designed with a grand feeling. So this one is the one that's going to have like puzzles and stuff. It'll be filled with various elements such as powerful monsters and bosses, various riddles and puzzles and knowledge. So look forward to it. And I guess they gave it a name now. It's Ataraxian's Desert. They just show like one image that kind of looks like the Kudum layer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
What's a grand feeling feel like?
The feeling of being grand, like when you walk into a big hotel, you know, you're just like, this is grand. Yeah, that lobby, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see if some of this other stuff is they said they're going to keep updating the Hadoom server loot and drops and stuff. Some of the spots like aren't considered that good, some are really good, so they said they're going to keep balancing it but maintain the Blackstar improvement where it's at right now. Let's see. There's another thing that was interesting. They said that this I'm hoping is a translation error. Someone told me that it's just poorly translated, but they mention the awakening skills for a brief second. I always have a hard time finding this because it's literally just one line. Let me find it. Oh yeah. Awakening skills of all characters that many people are waiting for will be added one by one. But I don't know if like someone told me that when you actually translate what it says in KR, it doesn't say one by one, but Google Translate changes it to one by one. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they don't do like succession release with the awakening skills. It'd be annoying.
Yeah, that would be pretty annoying.
And then they added this thing. They said that they acknowledged that the loot for Bloodstorm Nuver was bad compared to what the difficulty was, and as a result, they're preparing new loot, a costume with Nuver motif. I'll copy this image so you guys can see it.
Which looks awesome, by the way.
It does. It looks really fucking cool.
They need to do this for all of the like nightmare bosses or whatever you want to call them.
But yeah, this is the Nuver armor that can drop from Nuver now at a very low rate, I'm sure. But dude, I think it looks incredible. They don't show a female in it, so hopefully the female one looks the same and doesn't have open eyes.
Yeah, the female will have eye holes and a boob window.
But this armor looks freaking awesome, right? Dude. That cape looks so sick.
It does. It looks really cool, and I really hope that they continue like down this train of thought, because I would be very interested to see like what the other outfits
That does
could
look
like,
sick as
what they
fuck.
come out with.
It does. It looks cool. The horns, the mat, everything. Like the whole thing.
Because
It
also has a bit of a like a little bit of a Valencian aesthetic to it, right? Like it looks like someone like in the desert. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully you can dye it.
Probably not.
Here was the other interesting thing. So
You can't dye La Zika, so bad news.
Yeah. Currently, the area of Elvia in a state where the proportion of so-called Japtism is large. I'm going to read this as Google has it because it's hilarious.
I'm sorry, yeah, what-tism?
And the proportion of this
Japtism?
rubbish is expected and decreased gradually with the addition of new special loot. Drunken by the moonlight, I think many of you have gotten a hint from the necklace upgrade, but the new special loot will be necessary material for this accessory upgrade. We originally planned, so this is talking about the Hadoom server, or what they call Elvia's realm now. We originally planned to release all of the improved necklaces, rings, belts, and earrings along with Elvia's realm, but if we go all out at once, it'll only cause confusion, so we added the necklace part first, and then it'll be updated step by step. So there's going to be accessories for every slot that drop in the Hadoom server, which is kind of interesting.
And kind of scary.
Yeah. And in KR, they said 813 adventurers have already upgraded their necklace to get the 150 HP buff.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not really all that hard then.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how many people tried, what proportion it is, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it's too difficult. Yeah, so I don't know. It's there's gonna be I'm trying to think like what ring are they missing? I guess like a distortion type ring that where you sacrifice some stats. Because they already have an accuracy ring. We already have a Tungrad version of a ring. We already have a base like Red Nose ring. We already have a DP ring. We already have like Forest Ronaros, which is kind of a hybrid. So I don't know what other ring we could add.
We do have a lot of weird earrings and rings.
Yes, I don't know what else we could add.
What about because we have Cadres, right? But that's DR. What if they did an evasion ring?
Yeah, they could do an evasion
Or
ring.
evasion. Yeah, I guess that's the only one left.
There's not a lot left. We need a disto. You would need a disto equivalent, an ethereal equivalent, and I think that's it, right? We have everything else.
They need a hybrid ring.
We have Ronaros.
Dude, I wish they would go through and rework, like change Serapnek to blue, change Ronaros to blue, because they're not yellow grade. Yeah, they're not yellow grade. Like there's like a whole like stack of accessories that are like miscolored.
We have a blue fucking whatchamacallit, hybrid ring. I forget what it's called, but it exists. You get it in Medaya.
No, it's red coral ring.
Huh?
Red coral is the hybrid ring, yeah.
Oh, rainbow.
Well,
no, rainbow coral's HP. Does it also have DP? Which one's in Medaya? What ring drops in Medaya? I don't
remember. They just need a buff. They need to buff Ronaros probably. I don't think they should change it to blue.
But just Serap should be blue.
Serap's absolutely should be blue. Yeah.
Oh, the outlaw ring.
Yeah, Serap's has no reason.
Is that what I'm thinking of? That might be what is that? That might be what I'm thinking of.
Outlaw ring is old school.
What does outlaw do? Outlaw ring
might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, AP and DP. Wait, let's see. It's
that's what I'm thinking.
8 AP, 9 DP.
It's like that was like ring of
it's literally the same as red coral, but it has one less AP and one more DP. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, so we already have enough of blue hybrid accessories. They just need to buff Ronaros to make it actually like a viable hybrid option, because it's just the stats it gives is kind of lackluster.
We know they're never gonna buff it, so just turn it blue, dude, and stop making us cheer when we get it from a fucking
please,
from a poacher, please.
What would they need to change to make it viable as a hybrid ring option?
Give it 3 AP.
Okay, stop.
Let's calm down.
I don't know. I mean, if it had like. Maybe if it had one single more base AP, and then it had just a little bit of HP, like maybe 10 HP per level. So at pen, it'd be 16 AP and then 50 HP as well. Just something subtle to make it a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know how you make it good enough to be replaced. It just depends, I guess. I don't know. It'd be kind of, it's hard. That's hard.
What if they question, because they don't usually do this. I think they've done it with a couple things, but not a lot. What if they made it like a jack of all trades accessory, where like they just slap like a little bit of fucking everything in there? Like it's got AP, it's got accuracy, it's got DP, it's got DR, it's got evasion, it's got health.
That's an interesting option.
Yeah, that
so
could be
instead,
interesting.
make it like a narc, but give it mob damage reduction per level.
Because I don't think, do we have any accessories? I don't think we have any. We have accessories that have like 3 stats, I think. I don't know if we have any that have 4. Do we have any that have 4?
What more do you want, dude?
But see, that could make it like a viable thing for someone who's like, you know, just wants a little bit of everything.
Maybe your
Stat
necklace of good deeds? No,
What the
that
fuck?
has no
No,
DP.
that only has AP and accuracy. doesn't it?
Dude, that shit's a best in slot.
It is.
Look
It
how
really
good that
is.
is, dude. God damn. 16 AP, 36 accuracy. That shit's so good.
Does it really have that much?
Yeah. Oh wait, what's Ancient Guardian Seal stats? Is that one just DR? I can't remember. I haven't looked at these in so long. Oh yeah, it's DR.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of ways to like make it just not another fucking like hybrid ring, you know?
Yeah. So they're gonna add some new of every slot. The belt one is another one that's like, okay, we have an accuracy belt, we have a DP belt, we have a hybrid evasion belt. I guess the only belt we don't really have is a hybrid belt with DR.
Or a full DR, right? Because the only full DP we have is Centaur, which is evasion, right?
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I think it's just evasion. I think it does have some DR on it, maybe, but it's like very negligible. I think.
It's primarily evasion.
You still wear Penn Schultz belt, Rez?
Of course, dude.
Figured.
Wait, what?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, I'm actually pretty impressed with that.
No, you're not. He wears a Rudum Elite belt because he wants a Rudum class in the game, so he's wearing it in solidarity.
I do want a Rudum class, dude. Give me a Rudum class.
Rudum class would be interesting.
I'm so tired of these fucking anime boys. Like, let me play like a fucking monster, dude. Fuck.
What are anime boys?
You know, like fucking Hash and fucking Nova, all these like, you know, fucking models. Why are all of these warriors in this fucking medieval fantasy world goddamn models? It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, so I think it's hard to tell from the translation, but I think this one sentence here is a mention of the new loot scroll system that has been missing.
God, when is that coming?
That has been missing from Global Labs for a little bit now. But it says, in addition, there are many requests to update the point conversion of the item acquisition probability increase order. Rather than speeding up this system, we will try to test it through several cases and update it live.
So, wait, what?
So it sounds like it's still coming. That's really all I got from that weird-ass sentence. I don't know what it means.
That sounds like...
Oh, here. I got a better translation. Hold on. In addition, there are many requests to update the item collection increase scroll point exchange. Since it is related to acquiring items, the patch is being delayed because the test is being carried out more thoroughly. Rather than making this system fast, we will test it through various cases and then update it to you live. Thank you, Nejio. Dude, he's always there with the facts. Manos Blue Coral Belt is the DR belt. Let me see this one. Hold on.
Manos Blue Coral Belt. Interesting.
Oh yeah, pen, dude. 18 DP. It also has 6 evasion randomly. It's 15 DR and 12 accuracy. And has all resist 7%. That belt is actually toxic.
That's interesting. Especially that all resist. Maybe that's what they put on maybe they just put like 10%. 10% all resist, 10% all ignore all resist on Ronaros. Does that make it worth?
Oh my god.
Does that make it worth at that
People
point?
might
Frosty?
actually run it.
Would you get Ronoro swings at that point, Frosty? If it had 10% all resist, 10% ignore all resist?
Yeah, let's change the question. How much AP are you willing to sacrifice for 10% ignore, Frosty?
All of it. I would drop. I would drop right back down to 269 Nuver for 100% ignore all resist.
Oh my god.
All right, here's a better translated site, I guess. Dude, I don't know, man. I really want some of this stuff to come out like soon, and I want our damn awakening skill. Oh wait, let me see what it says about awakening skills with this different translation. And awakening skills of all the characters that many people are waiting for will be added one by one. In addition, no, so it still says the horrible thing about one by one. Oh no, not a fan of that. Dude, give Kuno a pulling ability, please.
I mean, let's be honest.
What? You don't need no pull ability. Kuno's
Let's be 100% honest. They probably are going to add them one by one, just because that's what they've done in the past. And I mean,
please God, don't do that. I don't want to have to deal with Warrior being absolutely fucking cancer.
I mean, I'm just saying, it should not surprise anyone if that was what they decided to do, because that's what they did for Awakening. That's what they did for Succession. Like,
if they do that, I'll be taking a month break from BDO until they implement my classes.
But you're not even gonna play your classes, even with a new Awakening skill. You need it. You don't have a Dandy. You're wearing a tri-green fucking Roser Awakening or something dumb. Look, here's the thing.
What?
They'll probably
try Dandy. What? Why is that controversial?
It's not controversial. It just doesn't do damage in Awakening.
I mean, I had a Tet. I'm literally 1 AP off from what my Tet had.
Oh, okay. Then you're end game. My bad.
So I mean,
that was my bad. I think what they'll do is probably release it 1 week at a time in KR, and then maybe give it to us all at once. You know, maybe they'll go that way. Nayashi's upset. I'm sorry, Nayashi.
I got no words.
Dude, it's equivalent to a Tet Dandy. Oh, then you're in game.
I've never heard anyone so furiously brag about having a Tet Dandy.
I'm not bragging about it. I'm just like, you're making it seem like I have like no AP on Awakening.
What do you mean I can't play Awakening? I almost have as much AP as a Tet Dandy. I'll kill anyone.
You just made it sound like I had like 3, like basically 220 AP on Awakening.
Look, your AP, if you look at your gear screen, you're 301, 222, 340.
222.
It's a Walmart version of Dandy. Oh, dude, it's
the Florida version of Dandy.
Yeah. It's that value Dandy. Got a big lot.
But no, what I really want to see is what the core skills are going to be for Succession, because I'm kind of concerned on how they might deal with that.
They didn't mention core skills in here. So
I know. That's my concern.
That's probably a good thing.
Wait,
no,
I thought
that's not a good thing.
Wait. I thought they reeled that back. Did they not reel that back? I thought they reeled that back.
They didn't reel it back.
Don't be talking shit like that.
In our dev note, they called it C skills, which made half the people confused, because now people are like, well, maybe they meant they were going to give us a new Awakening skill to use in the Succession kit, not a core skill. So no one really knows. We're going to have to wait and see what happens.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
I would be too. I think that would be cool. Finally give me Spin Spree, but make it better, because that's what they do in Succession.
No, don't give them that.
It wouldn't make sense. I don't
Kuno
understand.
does not need that shit.
It wouldn't
It really
make
does.
sense to give Succession core skills, because wasn't the whole point of core skills to make Awakening on par with Succession?
Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm confused about it too.
Yeah.
All I really want is fucking BSRs on fucking Succession, just so that we can knock fucking
that's
people off
the
the
better-
T9s. Like,
that's
why
the
do we
better
not
question.
have that yet?
Why is there not BSRs? Like, fuck core skills for Succession. Like, that
All I
defeats
want
the
for
whole
Christmas.
purpose of core skills. Why? There's no reason why Succession classes shouldn't have BSRs 10, 25, and 50. You should be putting development time into that, not fucking core skills
And then
for succession classes.
They don't need to have a lot more damage or anything like that. I just want the option to like knock someone off their fucking horse.
I think that's the one thing that keeps Succession in check is that they get bullied by Doom horses, you know?
Oh my god.
They get countered by
I'm sorry,
Doom
but
horses.
do you see a Suck Wizard getting bullied by a fucking Doom horse? No, you don't.
Dude, that's it. Like, you want Suck Wizard to have a core skill? Excuse me?
I did not say for more damage. That's what I was saying. Like all I wanted.
But you know they're gonna give them more damage.
All right, hear me out. Core Meteor. Hear me out. I know it already has protection and damage and a CC, but you can also fly around while it's charging.
I thought you were gonna say now it disconnects whoever you hit.
Now they.
No, you just start floating in the air like a god.
You just start floating like a T10 when it's AFK.
Yeah.
It just like goes into hover mode when you're AFK.
It reduces the cooldown to 5 seconds from 30.
Amertat says Suck classes are buffed enough they don't need shit. Don't lie, Amertat. You need side dash on Succession Guardian. Imagine.
No, they don't. They really don't.
I mean, I just don't understand. I guess
Hover
I'm just
around
really,
like Sorks channeling DOD. Yeah.
I'm really confused about why they would do core skills on Succession but not BSRs.
Until we've seen, I'm still doubtful that that's what they meant. That was only a Google Translate. That's the problem, or a translate, a shitty translate.
Well, no, they did it in the English patch notes too.
No, they said C skills. They didn't say core. In the English notes, it said C skills, which is a little bit less clear.
Wait, C skills? So like,
yeah,
are like the awakening skills in Prime?
Are you
which are like C skills?
I feel like you muted me 45 seconds
ago.
Yeah,
is there an echo in here? What's happening?
Dude, you're just iframe chasing everything I say to you, aren't you?
I don't know, maybe.
The only reason why it's weird is like, why in those English notes would they say C skills and not core skills, which we know what core skills are. You know what I mean? So the theory, we don't know. Who knows? I don't know. It's hard to say.
A new C skill would probably be fine, although I still am questioning why C skills and not BSRs. But the main thing is just not core skills. Succession classes do not need more CCs or more protections, honestly. I don't need more anything. Just give them BSRs so they can deal with T9s.
I'm not opposed to them just getting an entirely new skill just because some of the Suck kits do feel like not as diverse.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, I wouldn't mind it either, considering Awakening is getting a new skill, right? So it would make sense that Awakening gets a new skill and then Succession gets a new C skill. Like, sure, fine, like go for it. And in fact, that lines up. It might even be the same skill, right? They develop the skill for Awakening and then they convert it into a C skill for Succession, right? So they both basically get a new skill. Like, I suppose that's fine, but just not core skills, please.
What keys would they do next for that, though? Like, it's already fucking annoying doing CW, normal C.
Amertat says to tell Reslar that Zerker needs a new skill when spin is on cooldown in Succession.
But there's only 2 C skills right now, right? So you should have one more slot with C open because you should have WC, SC, Shift C, right? Those are like the 3 obvious ones. So everybody should have one thing that's still open because you shouldn't be having all 3 of those,
but
right?
some classes are weird because like for example, Ninja uses Moonlight on Shift C. Hashashin uses Descent on Shift C. Striker has an Awakening. I believe it's an Awakening skill on Shift C, or they have something on Shift C as well. I forget what now. So there's kind of a lot of classes that I actually love this Shift C input. It feels super natural. I just wish. Yeah, I'd be down. What, dude? What Kuno? They would give us something so stupid. I already know it on Kuno.
It wouldn't be a pulling ability. They wouldn't want to make them OP.
Frosty, with those classes, do you also have both a WC and an SC? That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's any class that has all 3.
Nova Succession does. They have Shift C, WC, and SC.
To be fair, that's a new class. They probably just expanded on the key.
Striker has something on. Striker does have something on Shift C. I just can't remember if it's Awakening or Suck. there a striker out there? Where's Hunter, dude? Striker definitely has something you can use on Shift C. I forget what it is though. I think it's something that's like not in the tooltip, but you can actually it does. It has something on Shift C.
Yeah, you're right. Nova does have all three.
Pro striker out there, what is it? Hold on, I'm messaging Hunter right now.
The forward C is the little like
it does spiral from pre-awakening. There you go. Spiral cannon from pre-awakening if you press Shift C.
Okay.
Aha. I appreciate that, Soulhaven.
Did you want me to get that thing translated? By the way, I know it's a little late. But...
No, it's fine. It's we got the gist of it. That we're getting the loot scroll thing being mentioned is nice because man, I think everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
It'll be so nice, dude. I will just grief people, and it won't feel
just
bad.
Like when people say, "Oh, I'm on loot scroll," that's nice.
Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good whenever the company does exactly what literally every single player wants? Don't you wish that they would do that more often?
Yeah. I mean, you and I differ here, dude. Pearl Abyss has never made a mistake since I've been playing the game.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way.
It's how I get
the White Knight.
It's how I sleep at night, dude.
Speaking of Pearl Abyss and making mistakes, something that's not on our list to talk about, but I still thought was interesting was I have no idea what you would call it. The transfer of service, like notes, like Q&A stuff that they've been coming out with.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the stuff where they can ban you for spreading false information? Also.
About what?
Did you not read through that, Frosty?
I did read through it, but I don't remember the false information.
False information about what?
Spreading false information was on there. Also was on there was disrupting game operations, and by that they meant well, we don't know what they meant because it's super
DDoS.
fucking no. DDoS was under a different thing. So what they meant is that basically griefing, like if you're preventing someone from playing the game.
I did see a Reddit post talking about that. Yeah.
But like the thing is like they are so incredibly vague about it that like no one there's no way to know what the fuck they're talking about. So like if I black robe someone and go kill them while they're grinding, am I disrupting game operations? Like where are the lines drawn on this? Like it's so incredibly fucking vague. There's like it's really concerning actually.
Shit, I'm gonna get banned immediately.
It's gonna be nice, dude. Less griefers. Get them out.
I'm gonna come in there to duel for spot, and people are just gonna report me for fucking trying to take their spot.
Cause like I do agree that like there's someone in our guild who has been getting like stream sniped for the past like month apparently by like this one dude in this like 5-man guild. For some reason he's just like obsessed with him. And he's tried reporting him to Cacao, and Cacao's just like, yeah, that's just the game. Gotta live with it. And so like is that bannable? Like under the new, like under PA? Like where is the line drawn, you know? There's no line, which is really concerning.
It's drawn where they find it convenient.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the concern, right? That's the concern is that for like a streamer or a partner, the line may be different from like random Joe, because whenever you leave things vague like that, you leave it quote unquote up for interpretation. There's no actual solid rules that people know, like, hey, this is the line, I can't cross this line. You know what I'm saying? There's like a million issues with that specific line. Very concerning.
That's how you do it when you're a pro. So this is the RMT section on that post that you're talking about. And someone sent this to me. They pinged me and they highlighted these two things: real money trade and warning and time-based restriction, and then said, guess they're okay with RMT. And I was like, you do realize there's a whole nother sentence underneath that says, depending on the severity of the violation, IP and hardware restriction, content restriction, adjustment of game data retrieval may also apply. Like they like ignored that part that says basically you could get IP banned or just permanently banned, and only saw this, said, I guess they're okay with RMT with Pearl Abyss. I'm like, no, that says the opposite of what you're telling me.
Yeah, there's a whole list of things. I highly suggest going and reading through it if you haven't already.
Yeah, here, I'll let me link it. I have it here. I think it's this one. Is it this page? Yeah, here it is.
It's interesting. Some of the things in there certainly are very interesting.
I just can't wait to complain about Pearl Abyss directly. Then just going on and on about Cacao not fixing the servers. Now I can just complain about Pearl Abyss. It's gonna be great.
Did you guys fill out that thing I sent you to be partners?
Yeah. I filled it out before and it have not been responded to. Dude,
I still need to I still need to fill it out.
I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. Oh, I want to make we should place bets. I have a bet.
Okay.
So when you open up the game, it first shows Pearl Abyss and then it says Cacao. How long? It's gonna be like Christmas lights on a house. How long after Christmas is over are we gonna still see Cacao in the intro of the game?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
Because I bet they're going to forget, and it's going to be a while.
No, they're not going to forget.
No,
there's no way in hell they
immediately. I think it'll be the next patch. So that day, I guess, when they take over.
Yeah, is the takeover happening on a maintenance day?
Probably.
No, let me look at the calendar. I think
it's going to be the maintenance after takeover. So if it's happening on a maintenance day, it's going to be that. I am telling you, there is no fucking way they forget, especially after. And I love talking about this. After Cacao put up an advertisement for Elion on BlackDesertOnline.com and then had it taken down like 3 hours later, which for a fact that was Pearl Abyss calling them and being like, you better take that shit down right fucking now. There's no way in hell that they forget. There's no way.
That was pretty shady of them to do that.
It will be immediate. I feel like they're going to forget. I feel like it's going to be at least a week.
There's no way. There's no way in hell they forget.
The only way it's a
week. Are we betting an accessory?
I'll bet I'm that confident. I will bet an accessory.
Wait, what do you mean we're betting accessory? Like enhancing one?
Well, Rezlar's going to enhance. He's going to enhance outlaw rings.
Yep.
Because that's all he can afford.
That's what he's running, dude, for that DR, that hybrid build.
All right, so I'll jump in on this. So what?
Well, now everyone's so confident. I don't feel. I've lost my confidence.
I'm pretty confident, dude. When PA takes over, they want their shit advertised.
Okay, let's change the bet. Here's one I feel more confident in.
Okay.
The entire first week, Steam won't be able to log in.
That's probably true. I can't bet on that.
Yeah, that's probably.
I'm not gonna go against you on that one.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Oh man, the fact that that's even a remote possibility is sad.
Hey man. It's what Steamies get for being Steamies.
Should have joined the game when it was fucking like PC only, Come on.
In fairness, Steam, I think the Steam players had a little bit less shitty time with the transfer application than the normal players or the non-Steamies.
I think I thought maybe it would have been cool before the application came out. There was some people who were hoping that they would do this, but I don't think anybody really thought that they would. That they would maybe allow Steam players to transfer to like the normal client with the
that's literally what someone's asking me right now. Like I would switch any day, but PA won't let me.
Yeah,
that would have been a cool thing to have because I think a lot, if not most Steam players would have done that.
I think they probably have a contractual agreement with Steam that prevents that from being a thing.
Possibly. Yeah, who knows.
I mean, if I was Steam, I would definitely make that into the contract.
But the last piece of small news that's not on the list that I thought we should bring up is they talked a little bit more about Crimson Desert Online and have officially announced that it is 100% not an MMO, right?
I saw a Q&A with them recently that said that it is a multiplayer online game with MMO aspects. That was the most recent thing I saw.
MMO aspects.
But that's story driven. I don't think it's going to be an MMO. I think it'll be like, here's my guess. It'll feel like an MMO, but it'll be like Division, where the world is like naturally moving you in and out of places with people.
Like instances and stuff like that?
Yeah, because if anyone's ever played Division, it
Destiny.
Like seamlessly moves
Destiny,
you.
Yeah, Destiny's a good one.
Oh, does Destiny do kind of the same thing as Division?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because like literally, so for example in Division, if I'm walking around in the open world with my, I don't know, 3 friends.
Destiny 3 without guns.
Or 2 friends, whatever. I'll like go over to the mall where there's a mission. You walk down the stairs to the mall and it's instant. You're like no longer in the same world, but you have no idea. There's no load screen. There's no tick. There's no like lag, like nothing. You're just
transition into the instance.
So as long as they do that, but they did say it's a huge ass open world. So it just sounds like it's just going to be limited on how many players can be in there at a time. Kind of. At least that's how it sounds to me. So it just depends. I don't know. But
huge ass open world, dude. Is this going to be the next
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk?
Is a good example as well.
Dude, they said it's coming out this year. That's the thing that kind of blows my mind.
What, Crimson?
Yeah.
Really?
They said the end of 2021.
No way.
The other thing that's interesting to me, you guys remember that game? God, it was way back. Called New World.
Yeah.
So New World, I was like reading one of their pressers kind of recently, and they expect the game to launch in August. And I was just like, I was thinking about how crazy that is, that they thought it was going to launch April 2021.
Yep.
That's so insane.
Yeah, it is. And as someone who played like the New World like beta or whatever, really fun, but 100% like no idea what they were thinking that it would launch that early. Cause like dude, you couldn't swim. Swimming didn't work. Like how are you gonna? And at that point, they were still saying they were gonna release the game.
Done.
At that point, they were still saying they were gonna release the game in like 2 months or some shit. And swimming didn't work. It was like, what do you mean?
Let's find. I don't know how to find the original trailer or who posted it. I'll have to. I can't. Yeah, dude, freaking New World, man. This shit's crazy. Someone said Riven saying that Division 2 moved you from open world seamlessly into the other areas, but Destiny made you queue into loading screens for every area.
True. I guess it did.
No, because like there were different instances between. So there were alerting screens to like go from like the hubs down to like the world, and like depending on which there were like multiple worlds, so like multiple maps. But like each section of the map was like instanced, is my understanding of it. I haven't put that much time into Destiny 2.
There was a combination of those, like what you said, that the starting hub to a new location, that was always load screen based, but there were some instances on the actual map itself.
Yeah. So to like put this in BDO terms, imagine if there was a hub in BDO, and then you chose which region you wanted to go to. So you would go to like fucking you'd go to Odalita. And then you're in Odalita. The entirety of Odalita is open world, and you can move between like Thornwood and Olunes freely, let's say. But between Olune and Thornwood, it's actually 2 different instances, and there's a seamless transition between them. But then if you want to go to like Serindia or Dragon or wherever, you have to go back to the hub and go through a loading screen again. That's how that works, is my understanding of it.
Yeah, just repair saying when you loaded into a planet, you had a loading screen. When you were on the planet, there was no loading screens as long as you didn't start matchmaking. And Riven said you had to load into every moon or queue into every moon.
Yeah, to like go on the planet. Yeah.
Well, here's how Blade and Soul was. All right, let me look here at Velia. All right, so you start in Velia. You're on a 5 to 10 minute load screen to get into the game the very first time. Then you're in Velia. The moment you walk out of Velia to where like the fishing hotspot is, like right past that, you're in a load screen. And then when you get to Logia Farm, you're in a load screen. And then when you get to Coastal Cliff, you're in a load screen. And then if you made a mistake and didn't mean to go to Coastal Cliff and you turn around, you're in a load screen. It was fucking awful, dude. It was goddamn awful. And Frosty, the load screens were so long, dude. Oh my god.
Since we're talking about load screens, why don't you share with the class Anthem?
Dude, do you guys want me to read the Anthem news? I actually have some. There's some.
Oh my God.
you got to hear this. You'll like it. All right, this happened on February 8th. You ready? Here's some Anthem news.
All right, Anthem news. Let's hear it.
In a news article released on Bloomberg, Jason reports that Electronic Arts will hold a meeting this week to determine the fate of Anthem, according to anonymous sources. They're going to decide if they're going to keep their team of 30 or dissolve the project.
Oh my god.
But the Loot 2.0 system hasn't come out. Come on, EA. We still had hope. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
That's so sad, dude. I feel like there's some subtext here that they're not saying. Like there's like they want to be like EA found out that there's still 30 people working on Anthem and they're gonna have a meeting to decide what to do with them. Oh my god, dude. Dude,
Really
there's
sad.
something so depressing about Anthem because it's like occasionally I'll see in the Discord like the news and it's just like they haven't released an update in like 9 months, right? But then they'll have like a Halloween event that's like the same Halloween event from the first time they had a Halloween event. And I'm just like, I don't know why. There's something that just makes me sad about that, dude. Yeah,
who is still playing Anthem?
No one is still playing it, okay? We're all just sitting on the sideline hoping that it.
But then why are they having events?
No, there are some people playing it. I don't know. There's still console people playing it, dude, too. The thing is, like, I'm really sad. Me and Amritat the other day rewatched the trailer together, the original EA trailer. I wish that game came out, dude. That game still, 4 years later, in that trailer, looks insane. It looks so good. And then, like, you watch actual gameplay of Anthem, and you're like, why does it not look like this at all?
Yeah, Cyberpunk, anyone?
Oh. Well, wasn't Cyberpunk actually ended up... Doesn't Cyberpunk's, like, story and gameplay is actually pretty good? It's just buggy, I thought.
The issue with Cyberpunk, the main issue with Cyberpunk, like bugs aside, because like bugs are easily fixed, right? Or not easily, but like they will get fixed. The main issue with Cyberpunk is there is fucking 50 years of content that they said was going to be in the game that is not in the game.
There's 49 people watching Anthem streamers right now. Thanks for this.
49 total.
So like the story in Cyberpunk is really good, albeit like there are definitely some parts where you can tell that it was cut. So like the whole beginning part of the game where you like become friends with Jackie, like I feel like it's really obvious that that was cut out of the game and originally you were supposed to play that. And instead you get like this fucking cutscene of like you becoming best friends and becoming like a known merc in Night City and shit. And it's like that was content that was obviously cut out of the game. But like the main issue is that like there like the railways that you see like above you in Night City, those were supposed to be functional. They're not. NPCs were supposed to be like fucking Oblivion and Skyrim-esque, where like they have a full day and night cycle. They go to work, they go home, they go to sleep, etc. They don't. Like there's a million things that they said were going to be in the game that they did not put in the game.
I can't find the Twitch Bless Unleashed or Bless Online page. Where is it? Someone help me. Where's Bless?
Did you see they're coming out with a new Bless? Actually, I'm not even memeing. They're coming out with a new Bless.
Ooh, Bless. All right. Anthem, it's time to throw in the towel. Bless has 8 more viewers than you.
I am not even fucking joking. I forget what it's called.
It's called Bless Unleashed. It looks sick as fuck.
Is that what it's called?
It's action combat. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
You and I are playing it. Don't stop pretending.
No,
Bless
I am not.
Unleashed.
Yes, you are playing it.
And they're coming out. Apparently, they're also coming out because we can't just let games that are dead lie. Apparently, they're coming out with Arcade 2. Someone told me a while back.
Archon Nihilus corroborates all the things he said about Cyberpunk. He said if you watch the old interviews, like
All we gotta
everything
do is
they
just
promised
let
never
Arcade
showed up.
die.
Yeah, dude, there's like players have made like lists of all the things that they have said that are going to be in Cyberpunk that are like literally nowhere to be found, or you can see shells of it, like the railway system. Like the railway system exists, but it's not something you can interact with. It is just like a visual thing for the city, basically. But that's not what they said. They said it was going to be fully functional and that players would be able to take it. And so like there's so many things like that with Cyberpunk where they promised that things are going to be in the game. They said that things are going to be in the game. They got people hyped over things that were going to be in the game, and they're not in the game.
Imagine developers lying about what they're going to have in their game.
Well, that's the thing, right?
I feel like that's the first time that's ever happened.
If this came from EA, that would be one thing, right? But the thing is that like CD Projekt Red was such a well like regarded and like trusted company because of Witcher 3, right? People were like, "Oh, dude, they're gonna make even if they don't make a game on the caliber of Witcher 3, they're gonna come out with like an amazing game." And instead, they come out with this an absolute cash grab, like piece of shit, fucking like lying through their teeth about what they have going on. Another thing, like they need to just pull a No Man's Sky and shut the fuck up and get to work on the game like immediately.
Yeah,
Instead,
No Man's Sky is actually pretty good from what I hear now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what like No Man's Sky promised a million things, delivered on 0 of them, and then put their head down and actually worked on delivering the things post-release. That is what CD Projekt Red needs to do, and instead they just keep coming out with like bullshit apologies and excuses and shit, and it just keeps digging the hole even deeper. Like the lead developer guy was like, "Oh yeah, we didn't know that there were all these issues with it running on old gen consoles." And then you have devs coming out to the press and being like, "No, we 100% knew that there were issues with it running on old consoles. That is a lie."
Yeah, Lazy Peon put up a video 3 weeks ago of him playing this new Bless Unleashed, and it's I'm just gonna skip to his pros and cons because those are the best. Does he have pros and cons? Okay.
Yeah,
His cons are.
I think I watched that video too. He actually, from what I remember of him playing it, he actually was like pleasantly surprised with how it was like playing, but he still didn't seem like super impressed with it.
All right, his cons. Dreadful. Oh wait, his cons are dreadful console UI in the PC version. You can only track 2 quests at once. Can't change attack direction with the camera. What the fuck? Can't zoom in with mouse scroll? Question mark. And linear, predictable, average MMO.
Yeah.
Is there?
So it seems like it's
Yes, the
it
pros.
seems like
there are pros. Hold on. They're hard to find.
it seems like it's just going to be another fucking
they're so
generic
small.
Combat is greatly improved and somewhat decent. Free to play, new MMO to explore, mount collection, badass world bosses, and supports controller plus keyboard and mouse. That is a very limited.
Yeah, that's a very small list.
It honestly seems like it's going to be another fucking like
when you have to
Revelation
say
Online.
When you have to say a pro is that the combat improved, that's
Well, because like that's the thing though, is that whenever you compare this to like Old Bless, right? Like it is so much better because it's going from like a raging dumpster fire to like a standard generic like boring MMO. But like that's a huge improvement, right?
Yeah.
that's sad to say, but yeah.
All right, what about Amertat said it's okay when Star Citizen releases, it's going to be a better Cyberpunk.
Dude, hell yeah.
When Star Citizen releases...
I'll be waiting all the way till 2040 for that.
Dude, when Star Citizen releases, it's going to be 2077.
We'll be living the game.
So what are we excited for this year? Just is anyone still excited for New World?
I'm definitely going to play it. It's probably not going to be like a game that I spend a ton of time on or like leave Black Desert for. But I had fun with the beta. I really did. I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah.
I don't
Lost
really
Ark.
see a game that's like really catching my eye yet.
Dude, I want to be excited for Lost Ark too, but
It's been too long.
It's so old now, and it's like, how far behind is the content going to be? Like, we're going to feel like console players do right now.
Yep.
No shit comes
It's
out.
been way too long. It's been they lost their opportunity to capitalize on hype from the West. It's been way too long.
Did Lost Ark first come out? Let's see.
I think it was like 2017, wasn't it? Or like 2018?
Has been a while.
Initial release date, so December 2018.
Yeah.
And then in Russia 2019.
They lost their opportunity.
It's
honestly.
3.5 years old. I mean, I think people will still play it, but it's just if they release it and it has like 1/3 of the classes and that whole thing, like people are gonna be over it pretty quick.
I just don't understand. Like, Do Korean game developers not realize that there's just this huge cash cow like over the fucking ocean that they can just easily tap into? Like, yeah, it's a bit of an investment cost to get like translators and all that shit, but like I just don't understand. Like, you look at the money that Perlibis makes from like the West, like EU and A, and you're like, how do other game devs not look at that and go, "Oh yeah, we really want a piece of that"? It's just so confusing how, like, I understand not having an EU and A at launch. Like, sure, I get that. But like that should be one of the first fucking things that would be like on your agenda to like make a bunch of fucking money, honestly.
You would think.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's weird.
Well, maybe that's why
Uh,
you're not a game developer, Riz. You know, you just don't make the important decisions that these guys do.
yeah, dude. I'm still personally holding out for Ashes of Creation. I know like that is like the most mixed like opinion ever, because like some people are thinking that it's going to be a WoW killer, some people are thinking that it's like a scam and it's not actually being developed, which is a weird thing.
Well, to be fair, that's pretty common these days.
But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I got into the alpha. I told you guys I got into the alpha.
Which
and
New World?
No, Ashes of Creation.
Oh, right.
And I enjoyed my time. I think it's definitely, I want to see them like flesh out the combat more. It was enjoyable, but a little bit shallow. I'd like to see them flesh it out a little bit more. The world is pretty awesome. I don't know. I think it's going to be a solid MMO. It's definitely, I really don't think it's going to be like the WoW killer, right? Because I don't think anything can kill WoW at this point, because it's just such a loyal fan base behind that game.
The only thing that can kill WoW is WoW itself.
Pretty much, yeah. But that being said, I have a feeling that it is going to be like one of the new like big MMOs. Like whenever people talk about like the big MMOs that you should go play, right? I think I really do believe that Ashes of Creation is going to land itself on that list somewhere.
What about Phantasy Star Online 2?
You.
Pantheon?
Didn't that game come out in like 2012?
What happened to Pantheon, dude?
Pantheon? Is that like hardcore old school MMO that's being worked on by like 2 people?
I don't know. I guess. Yeah, that and Crowfall, right? Magic Legends MMO? Oh no.
Isn't Crowfall dead? I thought Crowfall died.
It might have. This list came out in December 2020, so 2 months ago. Crowfall, Crimson, Blue Protocol. Problem with Blue Protocol is it's only PvE.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely going to be another game that people go and play for like a couple weeks, but then that's it, basically.
Yeah, if you don't have player interaction to keep the competition going, people usually just get over it real soon.
To be honest, the only MMOs I'm like looking forward to are fucking New World, which I don't think is going to be super successful, but it'll have mild success. Ashes of Creation, which I think will be really successful, but it's not going to be the WoW killer that all the fanboys claim it's going to be. And of course, Riot Games MMO, because I think they're going to come out with something fucking awesome.
Did you say Elion?
No, I did not say Elion. The more I watch Elion combat, the more I'm like, dude, this looks like a game from 2008. I can't stand it.
Why? I mean, it doesn't have tap targeting, so it can't be.
I don't know, dude. It's something about it. Like, I'm probably going to play Elion. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it the old college try. But I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I get not excited for it.
Let's see. So I'm going to watch a high level 2v2 in Elion PvP. Let's see. See, this kind of stuff, like 2v2s and arenas look so fun to me. Like, yeah, my only, it's just unfortunate it does look like an older game, but it's going to have some fun for like a short time, like a month or two. It'll probably be like a less disappointing Arcade. I mean, that really is
That's
kind
a
of
low bar right there, Frosty.
I mean, it kind of looks like Arcade a little bit, to be honest, just without tap target.
Arcade 2 could be interesting as long as it's not just a fucking shitty cash grab.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling it's going to be. But if it's not, I actually think if they like took the spirit of Arcade and then just updated it, I think that it could be probably a really fun MMO to play. But I have a feeling it's just going to be another fucking cash grab.
More than likely, yeah.
This movement looks stale compared to BDO. Dude, BDO has the most insane movement. Like, none of these games are going to look like BDO's movement.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
It is
like,
kind of crazy how BDO's
when I was watching, because I watched a Battleground. It was like a 15v15 Battleground or some shit like that. And I was like watching the combat, and it's like, dude, like even though it's not tab target, and I get that, and that's good, like it still almost looks like fucking I'm watching PvP in WoW because it's just characters strafing next to each other.
Yeah.
It's like so infuriating. They're just like strafing next to each other and then occasionally do like a dodge or a roll or something that all has basically the same animation with slightly different particle effects.
Sometimes they jump.
Sometimes they jump. Like, I don't know. It's so infuriating watching two characters like it's the fucking Civil War, just like staring at each other and like strafing back and forth. It looks fucking bad.
Orphan says, imagine something like Tenon Cutter in any other game. Yeah. Dude, Tenon, like, just think of Succession Ninja's movement and try to imagine it in this game.
Fucking hell. Or Hashishing movement.
Or Hash movement. Yeah, it's crazy. It does seem old. This does look like a classic PC game.
It does, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, the more I watch it, like, whenever you sell me Elion, like, you're just telling me about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. Like, I can get mildly hyped about that. But then I go and watch gameplay of it, and I'm like, oh, man.
There we go. We got 1v1. I'm watching a 1v1 video. There's an assassin versus a mystic. They're doing Civil War stuff right now, side by side. There's some mushrooms on the ground. This guy plays with such high brightness, I can't see. I don't know, there's some cool, it has some cool stuff to it. It actually does look kind of cool.
It does, and some of the skills are really cool, and they seem really fun, but
I bet the PvE's pretty fun.
Like I said, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try it out, but I am not... My expectations for that game are extremely low.
Jax is saying that the UI looks really bad. Dude, the UI looks horrendous. It looks so bad. I was watching What the Fuck Blue streams Elion, and dude, like there is just, it looks like Minority Report. Like there is just text all over the screen everywhere at all times. Like 50 million chat boxes. I don't know. And we're a little spoiled by BDO.
I mean, that can be fixed as long as you're able to customize your UI, right?
Yeah.
The issue is a lot of these Eastern MMOs don't allow you to customize your UI very much for some reason. Probably because they're supposed to be console games that they just ported over to fucking PC. Yeah, I don't know. I think there were a lot of things to get excited about in like 2019, but most of those are like dead. And like the new things that have come up are like not exactly particularly exciting. Like remember when people were hyped for like Chronicles of Illyria, Crowfall, Ashes of Creation? Now it's like Chronicles of Illyria was a scam. Crowfall is like pretty much dead. Like Ashes of Creation still being developed, but like the more people see it, the more people are not getting hyped for it. And then these new games are coming out. Arcade 2, probably a cash grab. Elion looks like from 2010. Like there's just not too much to get excited about right now. New World, fucking disaster all around.
Yeah.
The MMO world.
I think Riot's gonna save us.
Dude, that game also is gonna be like 10 years from now. They haven't even
But
started.
it's gonna save us.
I don't know. I'm gonna be playing a brand new MMO when I'm 45.
That's when Star Citizens will be out. Perfect.
Dude, Star Citizen will be out whenever you retire.
I'm gonna have to choose between Star Citizen and the League of Legends MMO in 15 years.
Oh my god.
All right, should we get to comments?
Yeah, let's get to comments.
We do want to mention next. This is episode 99 that we're recording right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Which means next week is episode 100.
100. We're in triple digits next week. That's crazy.
Wait, we can have enough time for a surprise?
Hopefully.
Don't shush.
I just said surprise. I didn't give any details.
You shush. You.
Well, the problem is now is if we run out of time and don't get it done in time, now it's just disappointment. Thanks, Nayashi.
Yeah, good job, Nayashi.
Well, typical Meiwa. Nothing but disappointment.
All right. So for those who do not know, every time we do a podcast, we read the comments on the YouTube video from the previous week. It's been 2 weeks, so it's been a little while. So we have kind of a lot of comments. So if you want to comment or be a part of the show in any way, make sure you leave a comment on the YouTube video, and we will read it aloud. So Ramboner says I could listen to Frosty's voice all day. Appropriate name.
That name.
Sarah Angel says 2 minutes into the show and Resler's new mic is making me feel things. Leafson says
Probably rage.
Leafson says I love the idea of expanding Hadoom. Please keep adding mini games and stuff to the new spots. I'm looking forward to seeing how Hadoom progresses. Yeah, I hope they keep doing that too. I dream of a day where we have Hadoom Valencia spots.
That would actually be pretty badass.
I miss Gahas.
Hadoom history, dude.
Hadoom Gahas, man.
Hadoom Gahas would be pretty fucking fun.
It'd be
dude. Make grinding the fucking compass and map actually worth. You can go grind for those pieces on Hadoom for like actually good money.
True.
Maybe increase the drop chance, please.
What do you think's gonna happen first? Hadoom Valencia or enough nerf to suck wizard?
Hadoom Valencia. Grim says I think having the participation being capped at 50 and leaving the total number of members at 100 would be better, as it allows you to miss a node war without letting your guild down. Which is true.
Nope.
Wait, what? Guilds. Say that again? Sorry?
But they were talking about the where we're discussing like guilds should probably only have 50 members.
Like only allowing at most at any node war or siege 50 people participate in war, but your guild could still have 100 people. He's saying that would be better, so that way like if you can't make a war, you don't necessarily let your guild down.
My only problem with that idea is people join a guild so that they can participate in these kinds of events, typically. Unless they're joining a retirement guild for the sole purpose of just doing whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're trying to join like a siege guild, your intention is to, do the node wars and sieges. At least that's the idea.
Well, yeah, so you join one that doesn't have 100 people.
Yeah, that's A. And then B is that if they made this change, they could do something.
I'm just pointing out how allowing 100 people in the guild would just kind of be pointless still if all you're going to allow is 50, because then you just have 50 people sitting in there that are looking to retire, essentially.
No,
in a siege guild, which doesn't promote more PvP.
No. You are 100% wrong, dude. There are so many people in Bloodthirst that can come to literally 0 wars a week, but actually hang out in Discord and do other events with the community whenever they're actually available to. Like you are 100% wrong about that.
You don't need a guild for that. You can party up. You can raid or do a.
No, but they want to be in the guild. They want to be part of the community.
Yeah.
There's like a big part of like belonging that they want to have with their friends.
Guild chat's nice too.
I mean, I jump into other fucking guilds discords all the time.
Yeah, but it's different. You're a guest, and we put a clock on you when you jump in our Discord.
We put a clock on me. They're like, all right, he has literally 5 more minutes of this before I kick him out.
But like, what they could also do, like, even if that was the case, if you wanted to like participate in Node Wars, but like you join a guild that already has like 50 people that they bring to wars or whatever. Like
Yeah,
they can come out with some
remember
system.
the spirit of why
Can you let me talk, Nyashi? Fuck!
Never.
They can come out with some system similar to what they talked about doing with the region versus region, where like you can help the war effort in some other way by like life skilling or something. Like they talked about that with the region versus region, that like life skill guilds would be able to help by like providing resources or some shit.
Pepe Keck says
you're really stretching for this.
I don't want to get you.
I don't know. The whole spirit of why we were discussing this in the beginning is so that we had more guilds participating in node wars and sieges.
Yeah, but the reason that you'd allow up to 100 people, most probably wouldn't even have 100 people, but you'd allow up to 100 people so people don't feel like they're forced out of the guild or the communities that they love because of the node war caps. That was kind of the premise behind it.
And this would also prevent you from being screwed from wanting people to stay in your guild and in your community but can't attend node wars. You don't miss out on people not being able to go to wars, so you have less than 50 people.
It also is a huge like stress or weight off the leadership's back to know that you have 15-20 extra people to participate in wars in case your main people can't go.
That's
another
thing.
Point. Like having a roster with a backup is kind of nice.
Because you know for a fact that most guilds would probably sit at fucking like 60 or 70 members. Like there would not be a lot of guilds at 100 members.
Yeah. All right, Matt Pam says, what? Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I would be surprised if even siege guilds were at a full 100. Like, even they would probably cut down, in all honesty.
It's not shitty for the backups. Riven, like, have you ever joined a guild that only participates in 30-mans or 40-mans? Like, generally, people can't go every day. So the backups are, like, almost always able to war anyway. Like, there's so many times, no one has... Like on 100-man attendance or 65-man like node war guild, you never have 100% attendance. It's so hard to have 100% attendance that like you're always going to be like, hey, we're scheduled Tuesday and Thursday for wars. It's a 50-man. We have 80. Dude, even in Apocalypse, we have 100 people in our guild. We go to a 50-man and people can't show up. So the other people get to go.
We still have the merc system too.
Like we never have an issue where people can't show up. All right, Lorenz, your attendance has been really bad. Yes, guilds cap 65 all the time, but the same person does not go to 100% of 65-man wars. They just don't. So they would go to a different guild. Like, that's the thing. Riven, you would go to a different guild. If you're in a guild where you can't ever participate in war, you just go to a different guild. like that's just how it is. And it's
if you want a war,
it's not that bad. Yeah, you would just go to a different guild. The whole point would be to get more guilds warring instead of just one guild. Okay, so as Matt Fan says, damn dog, can you get less immature co-hosts with better insight input? And then he does an emote with a question mark. Says, feels like I'm listening to a podcast with a smart fella and who started a podcast with people who he can't tell to go away.
I asked him to elaborate on that. Did they ever?
I think he was pretty clear. Nyashi.
Yeah, no. I was wondering when you were gonna mature up, you know, like.
Oh, dude. Ishmael Cortez says the 150 HP for accessories on Codex. Odds are seems like an add-on, like you said, for yellow accessories. Syrup neck 200 HP. LOL. Yeah, make Syrup's neck best in slot. Queso81 says, if the indicators do come out, people will start to see the lingering more effectively. Every noob tends to not linger in spam protected skills, resulting in gaps with cooldowns. If you time them, you'll notice SA rotations are endless. Just a theory. Commented this before seeing that it blinks. Yeah, luckily it doesn't blink. Now, after you saw that it blinks, now it doesn't actually blink. So it is easy to see when the lingers are. And yeah, for sure. It's going to help people that are like, not understanding how to do a skill rotation and stay relatively safe. So it may make life harder on Maywas, basically. Real BBX says, what about this? If introducing 50-man guilds, just introduce an actual guild alliance system in the game so that 100-man community guilds can stay existent in the alliance, while everyone who wants to node war in GVG now has to adapt to the shuffle or reshuffle of guilds. Alliances would have its own chat, a list in the guild window with all the guilds and players in it, maybe add alliance missions like guild missions and alliance boss summons. There's so much one could do to fuel community instead of breaking it apart by reducing guild size. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the exact alliance system we have right now, but without the guild caps. Except, I guess there's no guild alliance bosses. Happy Fofa or Pofa says, and again, triple stun from the Mystic. True. Queso81 says, I'm gonna laugh so hard knowing Reslar will fail his enhancement.
Oh man.
I'm set on the idea that some accounts are still luckier than some others. Frosty. Edit totally commented this before finding out the result. I have his same luck. I know his feeling. In fairness, me and Ayashi went for something that was like a 50 or 30% chance or whatever, and Ayashi.
Yeah, and I spent like a third of my assets in order to barely recover and gain out of it. I profited for sure, but it was close. We'll just put it that way.
Imagine profiting, dude.
But I spent a third of my assets.
Dude, I
wasn't
honestly,
even willing to spend a fourth, and then I ended up spending a third.
I forgot that even happened, and now I'm sad all over again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Val.
You had repressed memories, and now they're up again.
What are you still working on? The gloves?
Yeah, dude, these gloves are like absolutely destroying my will to live. It's such a pain.
This is why you retreated to another game.
Yeah. Orikami says, I'm sorry I died laughing when Frosty dipped out for the restroom as soon as they popped buffs. LOL. Oh yeah, for our Turos grind last week. We did. We popped everything and I was like, shit, I gotta go to the bathroom. Anonymous Gamer says, as far as Node War Siege, they need to bring back damage split. It weakens the giant AoE classes but keeps everyone relevant. 1v1s, removing damage split was the worst change ever in BDO. Or make Voltaic Pulse a cone, or further away from you, or further away you are from Wizwitch, the less damage you take, and only a small area around them is full damage. Also, how about Arsha's server be the PvE only server minus drop buff, and every other server is PvP free, and get rid of Karma altogether?
All right, so
he worded that he worded that weirdly. I think what he meant to say was, how about only one PvE server protects everyone and make every other server Arsha. I think that's what he meant to say. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant to actually say. Instead of how we have it now where it's one PvP server and the rest have Karma.
No, there definitely needs to be like a middle ground.
Yeah, just make like channel 6 on every channel in Arsha. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Even without the drop buff. Just make it
I think
PvP.
having more Arsha channels would go a long way. And I still really do think they should have at least one channel, like one normal channel, if not like maybe like 2 or 3, where just PvP is disabled entirely for the people that absolutely cannot stand PvP at all. I think that would help a lot.
Can you PvP?
Yeah, but that's not a normal channel that like you can swap to unless you're a new or returning player.
Well, just like.
Also, wait, no, you can.
We don't want
PvP.
you in the game anyways. Just go ahead.
You can PvP on Olvia. You can PvP on Olvia, 100%. Can't you?
I don't know. I've never been on Olvia.
I'm pretty confident you can.
On Olvia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yeah, you can PvP on Olvia.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, you can't. Wait, no, you can't. They removed PvP. I think you can still GVG though. You just can't flag. Is that what it is?
I think that's probably what it is then.
Oh, okay.
I thought I remember someone saying you can't PvP.
Yeah, I think they removed it because there used to be people.
Someone else said
I'm laughing because Bear said Reslar sounds like he changed his mic. He turned into Res Chad.
Res Chad.
But like I think like if they don't want to change the karma system, that's fine. Like at the end of the day, you're not going to make anyone happy with the karma system. There's always going to be someone upset, right? So I think the best thing that they could do is come out with more Arsha channels and come out with one or a few channels where like there's no PvP allowed whatsoever, no guild wars, no flagging, no anything. So that way everybody can have their server that they enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
On these multiple Arsha channels, are they all drop rate buff or is that unique just to the one server?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think they'd have to remove the drop rate buff then if they're going to make
Yeah, because if they just made every channel 6 a PvP channel with no drop rate buff, but Arsha stayed unique and still had its drop rate buff, that would be kind of cool. I think that would be cool.
The other question is, if you get a drop rate buff for being on Arsha, the server where karma is non-existent, should there be some sort of reduction for being on a server where there's no threat of PvP whatsoever?
I think, if anything, you should have like a 50-50 chance when you log in to get banned.
No, I think
that particular server has a very high chance that you just randomly DC mid pack.
See, I agree with Jax in chat. I think if you added multiple Arsha servers, you would actually need to take away the drop buff, because
from all of them, or just from the or you mean just from the new ones?
No, from all of them. Because like a big point of why there's a drop buff on Arsha is because it's so highly contested. If you're adding more channels, you're decontesting the area. Why is there still a drop rate buff on that channel?
It's to create incentive to go there in PvP.
Yeah, because there's only one channel of it right now. But you know what they really should do? They should just make it so that all HP pots are disabled on a particular PvP channel, and the only way to gain health is to fight someone and kill them, and it gives you full HP.
That sounds like it's just going to be filled with Zerkers and Guardians and Warriors.
Probably.
Unsheathed says, Frosty, grind Tauros with Awakening, more SA, keep you from getting stunned, then Rezlar can't give you shit. Yeah, I could. I'm still bad at Awakening, so it would have been probably just as bad. Hammertad says, tell Nayashe they need to disable your V-Bug and escape. I like that it's Nayashe's V-Bug.
Wait, what? Why is he saying that about me?
I don't know. I guess you V-Bug and kill people because you're toxic.
Did I V-Bug him?
Probably, yeah. I think you V-Bug everybody.
I haven't really fought him except in that one time over at the beach, and then I haven't. The only other time has been in BA.
Bear's corroborating. He says you're the only one that uses it. You V-Bugged Bear too.
Nayashe's an exploiter,
yep.
dude.
Let me pull up the new policy on Pearl Abyss, see if that's bannable. Hold on.
Oh my god. I did it to Bear because he gets so fucking upset. So it's kind of worth it. It's worth the risk of getting banned just to make sure that he's just having a rough time.
True. That does make it worth. Kenichi Sai says, Pog, Rezlar finally going Tauros. Was that your first time in Tauros?
No, I had been grinding before that. I'd done like 15 or 20 hours or something at that point.
Yeah, I think he did say he did it before.
I just never done that rotation before. That was a weird rotation.
God, I wish I could. Queso81 says, God, I wish I could gossip when Rezlar comments on the elitist irrelevant shit attitude. I don't know what that's in reference to.
I wish I could comment on the elitist attitude. What is this?
Not too sure.
I'm not sure. I remember what he's talking. There was a comment the week before last where someone was saying that like we should stop talking about Node War and Siege because it's irrelevant content that no one participates in and yada yada yada.
Oh.
I got annoyed because it was
a lot of people participate.
I was like, you might not care about it, but we do. That's why we talk about it so much. Like, chill.
I mean, we don't talk about Node War that much. I mean, in the grand scheme of the podcast, like, Node War comes up every few podcasts.
Hey, look at this loser.
The only time really is when there's some sort of changes happening.
Yeah,
look at this loser just standing here in Velia doing nothing.
Get away
from me. Fucking loser.
Get away from me, dude. Learn your evasion combo. Northwest Rider says, I would love to get back into Node Wars and GVG, but a returning player, I feel so underpowered in most fights, which sucks. They need to do something about the Node Wars. I'm looking at the map and seeing the guilds that used to sieges on T1 nodes. Like, seriously, how can newer returning guilds get into Node Wars when there's super geared people on T1 nodes, let alone T2 and 3? Well, Tier 1 is capped.
Yeah, tier 1 is capped.
Tier 1 has gear caps. So while they're more organized if they're experienced people, but they don't hit you harder.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the T1 drama that's been going on over the last like month or two.
They don't have drama. T1 is drama free and everyone works together.
Yeah, no. So what's their name?
Your optimism, Frosty.
What's
Torn?
Yes, Torn. Thank you. War Torn and Stray have basically been having like this big drama fight. This happened, I think, like a month ago at this point, but I just learned about it like a week and a half ago. And it's been hilarious watching them. Basically, all of the strats on T1 to like get around like there being caps, how to like more buff your guild and your node war is coming out. Because these two guilds basically just keep ratting on each other and like accusing each other of like doing various things, like, oh, you guys are bringing like 20 people every ward just to repair the fort that aren't actually signed up. So like whenever your main fight, your main offense is fighting, you have people still repairing your fort. It's like, oh well, you guys bring people with DP sets just to soak up damage and cause split damage numbers and like all this.
Wait, is that repair thing? Is that repair thing a thing?
Apparently it is.
Pax, get on that. Organize it. Rematch us, Vertex. We've got repairers.
Did you guys get dumpstered?
No, we did pretty well. We 1v1 them on Thursday. There's much stronger guild, in my opinion, than us, and they also have a better composition since they're mostly Wiz-Witch. But no, we fought them. We 1v1 them, and it was a hour and 15-minute war. So it wasn't. I mean, we lost. I don't know if dumpstered's the right word.
So yeah, there's all these accusations and claims of ratting coming out between these two guilds. So well, it's very enlightening. It's very enlightening for everyone else on the T1 scene that's been wondering, like, why do these guilds feel so much powerful than everyone else on T1s where it should be capped and there should be no difference? And then everyone's starting to realize why.
That is interesting.
Yeah, they're a bunch of little cheating bastards.
I don't know. According to someone in one of those guilds on Reddit, the T1 is drama free, and that's where everyone just has the most fun, and guilds get along, and there's no politics, and it's actually super pleasant and nice, and the most fun community thing in the whole game. So.
Oh, and apparently now there's 2 T1 discords, which is interesting.
That's good. Probably a joint effort. Sounds like to me. Northwest Rider said, or no, Flexbus Finley says, the Awaken hash at Hadum Orc actually used Yellow Loot Scroll plus Agris for the 18k an hour. Yeah. No, I know he did, yeah. It says it in his thing. I also think that because he recorded it, like, so they have these lights. There's some weird mechanic there, and I'm only guessing based on what I've seen and heard, but it looks like when you have all 5 lights like activated when you're grinding in the spot and the lights are like hovering around, it debuffs the mobs in some way that makes them die fairly quickly. And when the buffs are not up, then they're a little bit more difficult. So in that 3-minute video, like, these buffs were up. So I don't know. The guy's video is a bad one to reference for how good the spot is. But that having been said, basically every Korean that streams grinding in Hadum is almost exclusively grinding the Red Orc camp. So I think the other spots probably need to be buffed and or that one nerfed, but I'm pretty sure the other ones need to be buffed.
The density or like the pulling capabilities?
No, I think the density and stuff's good. It's just the loot isn't as worth as people would hope. I think the spots are considered like decent, but Red Orc is the only one that's like as good or better than Starzen and Sakrea.
Gotcha.
Musassin says no, just no. Musa does not need a grab. Oh, here we go again. Musassin. He says Awaken Musa needs to have the accuracy modifiers of some of its Awaken skills tweaked a bit. If Guardian can have an all accuracy rate 12% for 10 seconds on Foretold Encounter skill that has a 4-second cooldown time, then they should add that to one of Awaken Musa's skills so it can't be applied to pre-awakened skills. Oh my, okay. Suck Musa does not need a damage increase, maybe for PvE. I don't understand why they let certain classes just outdo others in PvE. For Suck Musa, I'd prefer if they give us back all the resource drain. That shit made no sense to remove it. Do you agree with that, Nayashi?
I mean, it is kind of weird that they took it away, but I understand why, because
yeah, I'll tell you
with
what
the range hits of blooming and succession, it would actually act as its own version of a CC on a group of players. Like I've seen people do it, and it's kind of silly.
And you can use it more than once, which is what was so insane.
Yeah.
The reason why they removed it is because it's not fun. I
think they should. I think they should put it back on the main version of the skill. But when you use the buff and absorb the buff to actually use it again, it should not have it. So if you use it vanilla, maybe sure. But if you use it multiple times, probably not.
Hammertat loves
resource draining. Resource draining should just not be a thing because it's not fun.
The way Meiwa has it set up right now is fine, but Meiwa can't use the skill over and over and over again multiple times, so it's like not that big of a deal.
And honestly, I could maybe on a hand count the amount of times that the resource drain has actually allowed me to win a fight. To be honest, like,
well, that's because you can't see the resource. I cannot count the amount of times that I was permanently CC'd in a fight with you, specifically because I had no resource and had to wait for cooldown, but you didn't realize that that's what I was waiting for because I was S blocking.
Yep.
That I literally couldn't use an ability and was just stuck walking backwards after I got out of a combo or just the random blooming hit me.
And you're just waiting for your fucking your mana pot to come off cooldown. You're just like, please, 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 please.
I think the thing is because you guys can't see their resource, so it's hard to tell if you're able to actually like capitalize on it or not. Because it actually happens to me a lot when I'm fighting Musas and Meiwas, where I'm like, I literally can't use abilities and just some S blocking, hoping to God they don't know.
Well, even still, like usually we kind of like blow our load when they're with our CCs. Honestly, in a lot of those cases.
Yeah.
Especially after we just do a full combo too. And then on top of that, typically grabs don't have a resource cost at all. So if we try to go in and be super aggressive right off the bat after we just full comboed you, there's a likelihood that we'll just get fucking grabbed.
D-Bite has a 3-second cooldown.
It does, but it does require a lot of positioning, and S blocking will help you easily dodge that.
No, that is not easy to dodge Dragon Bite with no abilities and only S block. Not against a player that knows what they're doing.
I do use my D-Bite in combo. So, like, right after. So, usually that's enough time for you to actually get your WP or energy pot or whatever.
Dude, here's the thing with the infinite pot, too. Especially if people have the fairy. The cooldown is 6 seconds, not 5. So, it's actually, like, a decent amount of time depending on when you use blooming. I really think, like, if you were able to see, like, a video of both sides, that there's definitely cases where it's like, damn, I didn't know that they couldn't do anything right there.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm not denying that there's not a possibility. I'm just saying, like, from my point of view, from the times that I've like comboed, usually people just get up and grab me if I try to go, you know, a little bit too aggressive. And like, if my combo did not kill them and they're able to get up and walk away or whatever, if I just try to go full ham and just try to finish the job, that's when I get grabbed.
All right, like, so Musassin's closing line is, all in all, Awakened Musa needs something. If Warrior can get slight rework, so can Musa. And Suck Musa needs love and PvE development or department. Actually, all classes should be able to do 6k trash at Star's End or the same amount for any grind zone. All right. Six Sun says, I really do agree with the movement thing. I actually find a lot of different classes movement combos fun to practice. I circle around Veli on my Awakening Ninja alt and just practice it for no reason, even when I only main Warrior and will never reroll. Same for Zerk too. I love the headbutt, stomp, sidestep movement combo and just circle around town with that. Is the movement combo fun on Zerk, Rez?
Yeah, it's mildly enjoyable. It's engaging enough to not feel like brain dead, but it's not so difficult that it feels tedious. It like hits right in that nice little middle area.
King Pessimist links a video. I'll look at that after and reply to your comment, but he's asking if it's a desync or an actual gap. I don't know the difference. Paul Pulp says, "Hey, I'm a new player, and I was in a T1 node war you guys mentioned where it was 4v1 against Digital. It was my first node war, and I really wondered if it was normal to run into a base and die on repeat for 2 hours. What's the next best class to play for large scale besides Witch Wizard and still feel impactful?"
Guardian.
It is definitely normal to run into a base and die on repeat in node wars.
Yeah, especially when you're fighting Digital, who is on a 30-man node bringing somewhere between 20 to 25 succession wizards.
So Digital was in a T1 war?
Yep.
And they were actually like hard to kill?
Yep.
You want the caps, huh?
Well, the thing is PA works on T1s.
Well, yeah, but it works for everybody on T1s, right?
It works for everybody, but not everyone has 20 to 25 succession wizards.
Dude, you got to start enforcing it.
Casual guild, my guy. That's why we don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm. Martin says, buff Nova's... Oh, wait. He said, what's the next best class to play for large scale besides Witch Wizard and still feel impactful?
Awaken Guardian or Succession Valk, probably.
Yeah, those two both feel good. Yeah. Those two probably feel the most impactful. Martin says, buff Nova's passive, Cold Dark Star, to allow her to remove all DP buffs from skill add-ons, skills/add-ons with the exception of ZE buffs, which gives plus DP that some classes have. That way it'll make her stand out more as a class, because currently there are too many loopholes with that DP buffs Novas can or cannot remove. I believe this is the better alternative to just changing her damage number on skills. I don't know. I don't know if that would really help her more than just like, that would just be annoying for like her, like people against every other class that's not Nova. I don't know. Yeah, it probably should remove add-ons. I don't know why it doesn't remove add-ons, to be honest. But some of the buffs, like the Sork one, if the Nova debuff remover or buff remover could remove like Sork Shift Q, like they don't get it again for 5 minutes. So that would actually be awful. So
I had a thought a while back with Nova. I think it was sometime last week about, you know how they can remove buffs off of other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if for Succession Nova they had some way of removing like debuffs? So like if you get slowed, you have some way of like cleansing it.
Her E-buff,
essentially.
Her E-buff does that. Her class buff.
I know. I think it does, but like I'm saying like a normal skill that's not on a fucking 3 or 5 minute cooldown, whatever it is.
That would be kind of cool. I don't know.
Like something that is unprotected, no CC, it's just like a buff, like a fucking Valk, like Elion, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a buff skill. So it's like if you manage to like have a second to like breathe, then you can recognize that and you can safely do it. It's just like a short like half second or full second animation that like cleanses like slows off of you or something.
What
like
would
that.
the cooldown be?
Probably like, I don't know, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Yeah, I could see something like that, like Tranquility, the Mystic thing, but have it do that. I mean, the other thing that would be kind of interesting is if the debuff remover, like this guy was talking about, I do think it should also remove skill add-ons and basic DP buffs. Probably the super long ones it shouldn't remove, because it kind of like, I don't know, it's odd to me that a Nova would be able to remove a Sork's DP buff for the next 5 minutes of a node war, even if they never see that Sork again. But some other, like the shorter debuffs I get, but it would be kind of interesting if when you removed a debuff on Nova from someone, if Nova gained it as a buff and it actually stacked. Like if you were a Nova, right, and you just have your like plus 50 DP buff on your bar and you hit a warrior with Cold Dark Star and you had it took away like their 2 DP buffs and an AP buff and Nova just gained it for the next 10 seconds would actually be super interesting. But too complicated, so it would never happen. John says, oh wait, no, Brad.
Dude, you know how busted that would be though?
It would be so strong, dude.
That would be actually fucking insane.
What if similar idea, this cleanse ability that I'm talking about, what if whenever they do it, there's like an AoE damage around them, and if you get hit by it, it actually transfers the debuff to you?
Oh yeah, like you're like I can absorb all the slow stacking.
And then
I would
go
just
in the pre-awakening and block.
Yeah, I would just follow Amortat's Guardian around as he's getting slow stacked by wizards and just take it all from him.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Interesting.
Interesting mechanic, probably too busted to actually be implemented.
Maximum Effort says, I don't know about Suck Nova, as I'm not interested at her, and I see most people want that spec to be strong, but I think you all overlook Awakening Nova. With the Bond upgraded Awaken skills, Nova got on her Shift Q, Stiffen on good hit. It's on all hits, not only the first hit. Nihilus, can you confirm or deny if that's true? It's super armor, has a big AoE, and can be mouse control mode. Basically, it's another shield throw. On top of that, all right, Nihilus, calm down. All right, I'm quoting Nihilus here.
Oh man.
Nihilus says, "No, it's not. You dumb motherfucker. Ban him." End quote. That's a quote from Nihilus. Those are not my words. He also says, on top of that, a combo that gives you 40 on guard bar has been discovered. Throw 2 balls, Shift plus Q, sidestep, Shift L and B, consume balls. You pretty much get a full bar in 30 seconds. So in large scale, you basically start with Vanguard up super easy and not that hard to have it up for every other fight in 1v1. With the speed of the character,
consume 2 balls.
With the speed of the character, plus that you are able to cancel every single unsafe CC to a dash, having a plethora of different CCs, freeze, grab, floating, stun, knockdown, stiffen, and gravity pull gives a pretty decent character, better than people give it credit. The top of the cherry will be a patch when they will be able to upgrade 6 skills from any form we want to, not as it's the moment 3 pre-awaken, 3 awaken. At this moment, Awaken Nova can get full buffs, debuffs on her Awaken kit. She'll be complete. He's talking about the skill add-ons.
Add-ons, yeah.
Well, they're in now. So, let us know your thoughts on that.
We didn't talk about that, did we?
Well, I mean, we talked about it when it originally was implemented. Or,
yeah.
In Koba Labs, at least.
Did you guys change yours? I tested Kuno immediately and then swapped back to Succession.
I did the same on my trial of Mewa, and I'm like, oh yeah, I realize I still don't like Awakening right now.
Yeah,
I mean, Awakening. Don't get me wrong. There's Awakening's quote unquote fine and like large scale and whatnot. 1v1 it does well too, but it just I don't know. I don't like it as much anymore. Maybe I grew out of it.
Yeah, I think dude, I was watching a well, hold on, let me talk about the add-ons thing real quick, because there's a few classes, like Rage was telling me that when he's grinding in Awakening or PvPing in Awakening, I think he said he uses 5 Awakening add-ons on his Striker and only 1 pre-awaken, if I have that correct. And I think on Kuno you probably would have 4 or 5 if you grind on Awakening. And then a lot of them are super interchangeable. Like, the other thing that people kind of forget is, like Sork, like Bear was pointing out for Sork, that he's actually taking some off of Awakening to put more on pre-awakening, because it goes both ways. So it's a really cool change. I like the change so much. I just wish they would also allow us to put add-ons on Rabombs.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so nice, dude.
I don't use my Rabombs for combo, so it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, some classes do. But I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like when I was imagining using Mewa Awakening, the combos, I would see, like, I would definitely use probably 5. I was leaning more towards the 5 Awakening add-ons and only 1 pre-awakening. Just because, like, there's a lot of situations where when you're comboing an Awakening that you could use multiple different versions of a combo, so you don't have all the damage output potential in those various different versions of the combo, then those particular combos just feel weaker for obvious reasons. So having the 5 is nice.
I wanted to ask you, Nashi, how often do you use mouse movement in your PvP?
With Succession, not as much. With Awakening, a lot more. I mostly use it for like Red Moon turning right now to turn the frontal guard when I can. And that's pretty much the extent of its usage in Succession. For Awakening, I use it for the Red Moon as well as Petal Drill and Petal Bloom, Moonlight Dash, because I could start off the animation one way, but I can mouse move to turn it to help chip damage people. Because sometimes they see me charging up the skill and then they try to get behind me or whatever.
I was watching.
You can also use it on Frost Pillar and Tip of the Iceberg as well to help you maintain frontal guards or throw your damage backwards.
I was watching this Meiwa PvP in the King of the Hill thing. He has like a highlight video, and he was in the King of the Hill arena. He was mouse moving everything the entire time, like nonstop. Like every 10 seconds, he used control to click his mouse 7 to 10 times.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, dude, Nayashi doesn't.
I probably
do
know
this
which
anymore.
one you're talking about too.
Nayashi's retired. He would never do this.
I
was watching that, and I was like,
Awakening.
I was watching. I was like, this is why Nayashi doesn't play Awaken Meiwa anymore. It's too hard.
You're probably looking at. Hold on,
I forget the guy's name. Someone shared it with me, so I'd have to like dig. But it was actually really cool to see.
Probably this dude. Because his montage, his recent one was him in the 1v1 arena.
Are you where'd you share it? Oh, this guy? Oh, I think this is the one.
Yeah.
Let me see. Dude, it was pretty cool to see like the way he did it. He was super good at it.
Yeah, all those things you can definitely do. It's just like for originally before all the recent changes, mind you. And by recent I mean like the last year. All the changes that they did to like Awakening to try to beef it up. You wouldn't want to use a lot of the mouse movement that you do now because Petal Bloom and Moonlight Dash weren't protected back then. Frost Pillar and Tip of the Iceberg were pretty much garbage damage, and the only thing you could really rely on was Sticky Snowflake and Cloud Stab at that point in time. But now things have changed, and a lot of your damage is coming from the skills that are actually protected now, like Frost Pillar, Tip of the Iceberg, Petal Bloom, and Moonlight Dash. So all those are actual viable ones that you would want to mouse move.
This guy makes Meiwa look so fun. What server is this?
SEA, I think.
Oh, is it? Okay.
SEA or SA or one of the two.
EU. People are saying he's from EU.
Oh, maybe I'm getting him confused with the guy in Spain. I mean, he's in my Discord and talked with him a few times.
He's a very talented.
He does really well on Awakening. I posted his video in my Discord for people to use as a reference guide to learn how to PvP or just like see Meiwa Awakening PvP. Because a lot of time people ask me all the time for like content of people PvPing or how to PvP. I'm like, here's some reference videos you can look at. So
I want to make one last comment to a maximum effort about Suck Nova or Awaken Nova. I do think that Awaken Nova is better than people give it credit for, but it also feels like it's missing something still. Like it just does. Like the people that are maining it, like it does feel really powerful and on guard, right? But then when you're not in on guard, it just doesn't feel that good. And Shift Q does not have a stiffness on every good hit, just so you know. Otherwise, yeah, that would actually be really, really strong. Abraxas KB says, to the Hadum realm there is an item, Gem of Imbalance. I'm not sure how I got it, but I believe you get it at the end of the Odalita main story questline. It says on the item, a gemstone that breaks down the shadow and light, a treasure that can actualize Hadum's realm. I think you'll need this item to go to the Hadum realm so that lower level player can't get one shot by mobs that are too strong. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So they can, well, I don't know. How would that work? I don't know if that actually is how that works. That sounds nice on paper, but you're saying on the same server there'd be two instances of the same place? I don't see how that would work. I don't think that's how that works.
I don't want to overcomplicate things for PA.
Yeah, PA, you're making it too hard.
Their servers are already struggling.
Yeah. The indicators, I really like them and hope that they actually work so that all players can kind of benefit from this. And I would hope that they would implement damage numbers as well. Then just let us turn them off for PvE or PvP or other customized features for the UI in general. But I think this will not happen. Dude, that's the other thing too, is like I get like if they want to have their strong stance on damage numbers, like fine, but at least let us see him in Battle Arena. Like, it would be kind of cool if we could just see him in Battle Arena at the very least. I mean, I want him everywhere, but let us see him in Battle Arena. John says, it's okay, Reslar. It's okay. Next time. Love your podcast, guys. Did you get it next time, Reslar?
No, I did not.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any next time for Reslar. Now he's a Valheim main.
Update. Try Blackstar gloves have been giving me such a problem. I think I started this stack at like 40 something. It is officially hit over 100. Going for Try Blackstar gloves. So
nice.
If you want to see something that'll might make you a little bit happier, Rez, watch that clip.
It's a picture of Nayashe taking out the trash in his house.
No, I didn't send that one this time.
What is this clip?
Them send it to me. It's just the unfortunate case of fighting a suck Valk.
Yep. That's how it goes. Get outplayed, warrior.
If only you were good enough.
If only you were good. But you're not.
You know, it would have made that clip better is if the Valk literally just stopped after he killed you and said you're bad and then walked away. That would have made it just so much better.
The
other real question is, Dem, why the fuck are you a warrior now?
Warrior's funded. Cherokee says, is that damage numbers? Yeah, so there's damage numbers on Global Labs. That's why you saw damage numbers. Global Labs has damage numbers. Sui says, hey Nayashe, I know you were a very skilled Maywa. Just wondering, will you ever main another class?
Why'd you laugh on that?
I don't know. I don't know why I laughed. I guess pressing Red Moon off the hot bar is skilled.
I mean, pressing red is just a skill right here.
Pause for a second, because I don't know if you guys realize what's happening in this streamable clip. There are 3 different CCs that could have CC'd that Valk before the warrior got grabbed right there. It's not just like one. There's actually 3 different times that he could have gotten CC'd by the warrior that he resisted all of them.
I've talked to Valks all over, and this is what they recommend you do, because they say don't put yourself at risk and try to re-CC. So what that warrior should have done is grab him, use slashing, and then back away and try to CC him again when he gets up. Then grab him.
Not to mention,
and use slashing one time and then back away, and hopefully the Valk eventually runs out of heals.
I think I think he actually got the ground smash off before the Valk started the shield throw, so that also should have CC'd, but got resisted, because it looks like he got it off actually before the shield throw started.
Yeah, I've seen that too. It looked like it was probably the case, but you know, you never know, because
so that's actually 4
that's
actually 4 resisted CCs. How fun.
All right, so Sui says, hey Nayashe, I know you are a very skilled Maywa. Just wondering, will you ever main another class? I can't stop smiling. I think it will be exciting. I think it will be exciting to see if you do, or is the Maywa Chase Iframe too addictive to switch and you are too deep into your lovely road with often main hand?
Hold on, I'm getting griefed by a Zerker.
Of course.
I'm legitimately being griefed by a Zerker.
Not again.
This time it's not another class.
Oh my god. I didn't even know.
Vides is better.
There's like 4 Zerkers that you see in open world. They all have striker grind alts, and somehow they're all at Nayashe's grind spot. Humanidai claims bingo. He hit everything on the bingo board.
No, it's not hitting everything. It's hitting a line, isn't it?
Will you ever try to main another class, Nayashe? Or probably not ever?
Nah.
No, Nayashe's set in his ways. Dude. He likes Maywa. He's picked it.
What if, Nayashe, let me sell you a class. So it's called Better Maywa. It's basically Maywa, but it's better in literally every way that you could have possibly imagined. You playing that?
It has fire animations, too. And it has charged stub arrow as a bomb. It hits super hard, one-shots people, basically. Daz says, Jesus Christ, Frosty put some gear on that poor Doom. My Doom has gear. He's like full C +6 Krogdala.
Were you about to say a Caphras level?
It's a full C6 Krogdala, dude. I'm even Caphrasing my Doom's gear. I want him to be tanky. Daniel Nario says, I love the enhancement part. I got so excited when you guys succeeded. Hopefully we'll have Rezlar's Tet Blackstar recorded in the podcast. Rezlar doesn't have masses of pure magic.
I just burned through 10 more of them going for Tri Blackstar gloves.
Bellsong says, I think you guys misunderstood what I was trying to say last week with the context of the previous podcast. They added new exclusive items and rewards to Node War Siege that you can't get otherwise. Trying to force that content with cheapo Caphras and gems. BDO has nearly 1 million daily active players currently, with NA being the largest reason. 90% was may or may not be a stretch, but as you guys said yourself, attendance is very low overall. I don't see 20 to 30k unique people on T2 Plus on a weekly basis. Maybe I'm wrong. Wasn't talking about PvP in general, just that large-scale style PvP overemphasizes whoever has the highest damage and the largest AoE. Mages now could easily be something else. 650 gear score thing was more regards to Elvia, calling it DOA content because everyone wants constant PvP and is over 650 gear score. PA released info barely 2 months ago showing 1.2% were over 650. Biased, probably closer to 5% real active people. Yeah, but definitely the 90% number is wrong. But also, like, there's reason, like, people are, even the people that are not necessarily node warring full time, a lot of them are not node warring for a reason. Because either A, they're fed up with mages, B, they don't want to play a mage, or C, the node war style has gotten like stale. But that doesn't mean, like, they're revamping the node war system, which is why we're talking about it, which is going to bring interest. Like, the only new thing is not the vendor. Like, node wars are completely changing, like, in a massive way. And if they ever do balance changes to the classes that are at the top in node war, it'll also be very different. And there's people that are just holding out, waiting for those things to happen. So, I can't remember if you were the one that said it or not, but saying, like, why are you guys talking about node war when no one cares about node war is just, it's just not true. Like, even the people that don't node war care about node war, like a lot of people. It's just that they either can't participate or are fed up with the way it currently is, and because there's changes, it's worth talking about. That's all.
I also like trying to force that content with cheap Caphras and gems. It's like, no, they're trying to make the content worth, because if you've node warred at all, you know that it is not worth it. It is actually, it is very much not worth it to node war right now. The only reason that you would ever node war is if you enjoy PvP. So they're trying to incentivize more people to go and participate in node wars. It's not about forcing it on anybody. Like, the cheaper Caphras are down to what, 2.5 right now? Like, you definitely do not need to participate in this new node war system to get Caphras. That is 100% not the case. And if you're not PvPing, you probably don't care about the fucking 1% attack and cast speed crystals. Because you're not PvPing, you're not min-maxing. So it's not about forcing content. It's about trying to make it worth to actually go out and participate in node wars for people who currently do not think it is worth it because it is not fun. Because of Suck Wizard, because it's stale, because of whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, for me, node war is like the most fun thing in the game. It's just right now, it's really not. The meta stayed the same for so long.
With all those fucking wizards, that's all.
Cody Shane says, "Hey guys, great show. I look forward to y'all show each week. I've learned a lot from the show. Keep it up." Thank you. Thank you very much. Henry Liu says, "I really thought Rez was Nayashe when it just started."
Wait, what?
Maybe because your mic?
New mic.
Oh,
yeah.
your mic, yeah.
Real quick, Rezlar, say the woman.
The woman?
No, it doesn't sound like Nayashe.
No, that not authentic enough.
Hold on, say the woman, Nayashe. Let me see if I can replicate.
The woman.
The woman.
It was close. That was actually close. Now you just need a little bit more reverb on your mic, like move to a bathroom or something.
I think the issue
Move to
is
a bathroom? What?
I think the issue is I just kind of talk like a lot differently than Nyashi.
Yeah.
Like Nyashi kind of talks. I don't know how to explain it because I'm not smart enough to know the actual words behind what I'm about to say. But Nyashi talks kind of lower, and I talk like high, basically, like in our vocal ranges. I think.
I mean, and one of you says a boot, and the other says a boot instead of about. So
I don't
Wait,
think
what?
either of us say either of those things.
you both say house.
What?
Why are we Canadian all of a sudden?
Because it sounds funny. All right, 197.
I mean,
millimeter.
I'll admit the Cappers thing, but damn.
Oh yeah, Nyashi says Caffers, and you say Caffras, which is that's different. That's two different already, right there. 197 millimeter cannon says, I've never really PvP'd in BDO because it didn't seem that interesting to me. From my perspective, as someone that just levels alts and joins random guilds to get buffs, it does seem like people who actually participate in organized PvP, like Node Wars, are the minority in this game, which I guess is what PA is trying to correct. The proposed changes seem really interesting and have encouraged me to pick a main class and find a guild that wouldn't mind showing a noob the ropes. I think a major blocker could be if guilds are interested in new Witchered, so it seems the new Node War changes would not increase player involvement if they do not also address class imbalance. Also, I am a noob at PvP and BDO, but I am an experienced competitive player in both video games and tabletop war games. When there is an overbearing meta that is hurting the game, sometimes the best solution is not to nerf, but by introducing a new predator or by changing game mechanics in a way that encourages a different playstyle. If one or two classes were to get new abilities that made them hard counters to Witchereds, it could encourage bringing less of them if they become unable to fulfill their role reliably, or you may have to shift bodies to people that help counter the counter in order to protect the Witchers. Alternatively, if large-scale battles like sieges required certain actions to be completed to win, for some reason Witchers were unable to perform that action reliably. I don't know what reason would be. I'm just saying you could shift the meta of large-scale battles without nerfing the classes. Love the content, been going back and listening to old episodes.
That was a long time. So the only way that you could actually make a class that would counter wizards enough to make them no longer a meta class, at least a primarily dominant force in large scale, is if you had a class that literally said, "Oh, here's a buff, and whenever you take magic damage, you get healed instead." Like that's the only way I could see it happening. Otherwise, you're just going to make a new wizard class basically that just is better.
Yeah, I mean, the real issue with like wizards and witches have always been the majority in large scale. And while that's always been a concern, it's never really been like such a loud complaint as it is nowadays, because the real issue is that Succession Wizards kit is way too overloaded. And
Yeah.
if you make another overloaded kit, then it's just going to be two overloaded kits.
Yep.
Like it's
well,
not.
Hold on. What if it's not an overloaded kit? What if there is
It is.
one ability that could fix this? So you guys have all seen Harry Potter, right? You remember when they would get a new broomstick, they would have to like get used to it. If the broomstick was like weird, it would like start flying and dragging Harry Potter around everywhere. What if the new class had an ability that was an AoE that just made all of their broomsticks, all of their staves, just start making them fly everywhere, and they lost control of their character for 10 to 15 seconds in the middle of a fight? That would be sick, dude. I'm picturing it would be so cool. And then a lot of people wouldn't want to play Witch Wizard.
So, well, I mean, that just sounds too fucking crazy. The easiest way is you just have a class that gives a buff to a small area of your party members that says if you receive magic damage, you instead are healed.
No, stop! Jesus fucking Christ!
That's how you counter it.
All you need to do. Here's what I think. All you need to do. You need to bring a lot of the huge AoEs down, like Frosty has said multiple times. The AoEs are way too fucking big. They're killing people that they don't even know they're hitting. You need to bring the AoEs down, maybe make them a conal if you still want them to be like pretty big, but at least make them have to aim the shit that they're throwing out. And
Imagine
then you need
this is Wizard.
And then you need to reduce your the range damage. The meteor is too powerful. Blizzard slows are so cancer. Like the ranged ability, the ranged ability of that class is far too big. Well, slow stacking needs to be removed, but that's not a suck wizard problem, right? That's just a game problem.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So,
it's a game problem.
like, I honestly think if they fixed their fucking ridiculous AoEs and they brought down their ranged potential,
I sent you guys a video of this.
It would
skill.
honestly go a long way.
Oh my god!
Just imagine this. Imagine this is an ability that affects WizWitch, and you just see them all in Nodewar flying around. Look at them go.
Oh my god!
Come on! Jackie Felix, stop fucking around. We need you up front.
I'm curious. Who was the villain in the movie that was making his broom do that though? Because that was a villain that was doing that, right?
Yes.
Who was it?
I think everyone thought it was Snape, but it was that other guy with the purple hat, the professor.
It was the turban guy.
Quirrell. Guttermouth saying it's Quirrell, the guy in the turban.
Yeah. It looked like it was Snape, but Snape was actually trying to like fix it, right, or something.
Yeah,
like
Snape
that.
was trying to counter the spell. Dude, what if because tamers don't feel super impactful. What if Tamer had that ability to start just fucking with wizards from far away?
Jesus Christ.
Squid calls him Professor Squirrel. Okay.
Professor Squirrel.
Dude, what if Tamer Trap was the like Blade and Soul PA that you always imagined? Like they cast Tamer Trap, not only does it CC enemies that walk inside of it, everyone inside gets plus 999 DP.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be cool. Oh my god, dude. All right. Tim says, not sure why Frosty was sweating that enhancement when he is so carried that he's not capable of failing. Dude, I fail in accessories so much.
You don't fail at all.
Dreadspark says, look, I usually come in here to throw mud on whichever one of you talk bad about Shy. T3 add-ons win. However, today when you read this, I'm going to break from my glorious campaign and address Nova.
Oh my gosh.
Give her forward guard on every ability. She has no healing, no mobility, and if she happens to move, then she devours her stamina. I think they're talking about Succession specifically. If she gets
forward guard on every ability, like what?
I think they're exaggerating, but you get their point. If she gets ambushed from behind, then she dies. If she gets overextended, then she dies. If she sneezes and her shield falls, then she dies. Let her do stuff with her shield so that she can actually function in large scale. She will be a little bit of a skill check for 1v1 and easily bullied, but damn, at least she'll have something. Another issue, she can't do Ash Forest as she is because she can't move or avoid crap. Giving her frontal guard would make her still not as good as Ash Forest, but playable. Make her playable and buff her best friend Shy. And then he does a wave emote and says, waves. Also, I do appreciate you guys and your opinions, so thanks. Damn, dude. Imagine meaning Suck, Nova, and Shy. I'm so sorry, Dreadspark. You're going through a lot right now. You're going through an awful lot. Hawaiian says, hey, got the Shuriken Pot piece on my second hour ever while watching this. I also hit a Tet Disto while watching the podcast where you guys enhanced accessories. Looks like everyone is lucky but Reslar. Shame, shame. Aw. The Muffin Muncher says, I don't know anyone.
Muffin Muncher.
His name is the Muffin Muncher. He says, I don't see how anyone can say that only 10% of the player base does Node Wars. I would argue that 90% of the player base grinds or does life scaling to get gear for Node Wars. I mean, I don't think 90. We gotta stop using the 90% number. There's a lot of people that Node War. And there's also a lot of people that Node War for stretches and then take breaks and then Node War for stretches and take breaks. Like, it's never like full time. You know, it's I don't know.
Realistically, like no memes. What percentage of the BDO population do you guys think Node Wars regularly? I would say probably somewhere
10%.
around like 40%, 30 to 40%.
Regularly, 10%. That off and on.
Define
just because
regularly.
They don't hate.
What do you call regularly?
That's the problem.
Once a week?
Like, yeah, like at least once a week. Yeah.
I would say 50.
I would say 20 then.
I would say between 15 and 20% at most. Once a week.
I think regularly, like constantly, every day, every week is like, you know, probably 2 to 3 wars. I'd say probably closer to 10%.
Now, if we're talking like once a month, I think it's much higher.
Oh yeah, we're going once a month.
I mean,
that's like 90 or more.
But once a month for content that goes on every single day, like that's not really regularly.
Yeah, but the reasons aren't like, here's the thing why I contest what the other guy said in the other episode is because not saying everyone, but a very large amount of people aren't participating just because they don't enjoy Node Wars itself or that they don't want large-scale PvP. It's because, A, it's not rewarding, as you said. You don't benefit from going to Node Wars. Like, if I'm grinding up gear and all I care about is my next upgrade, Node Waring is going to set me back because that's now 1 to 2 hours where I can't grind, 1 to 2 hours where I'm paying for Villa buff, food, Alkstone, drafts, whatever, that all cost money and add up. And then 2, the meta is frustrating for a lot of people. And 3, like the shenanigans going on in T1s, you have these stronger guilds that are kind of making it not fun to even participate because of things like bringing extra people to repair, going outside of the Node War zone to kill them with your full gear, like all sorts of stuff that just make it kind of awful.
What percentage of the player base do you think is interested in Node Wars? Like, they would do Node Wars if it wasn't for X?
70 more.
I would say probably between 50 and 60%.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like around 60, probably.
That are at least interested and would want it to be fun and worth doing, but it's just not. But there's definitely like the game is a sandbox MMO. Like it's Node War is just an aspect of it, and it is a large aspect of it. And I mean, you can't say people don't care about Node Wars. Like, do you know how difficult it is to organize 100 people to do anything that literally doesn't have any benefit in the game whatsoever? And like all of these guilds are able to do that. So it's just like people definitely care about Node War. It might not be a majority of people, but people care. And with the changes are major. It's like also people don't really care. There's a lot of people that don't care at all about class balance, but we talk about class balance all the time. There's also a bunch of people that don't care about the Hadoom servers. They're never going to be on there because all they do is life skill, and we've talked about those a bunch. Like, there's definitely segments of people that don't care about anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't give two shits about Maywa, but somehow we always end up discussing Maywa every single episode.
There's a bunch of people who don't care about how much Reslar hates the game, and we have to hear him talk about how much he hates the game every week. So,
wow, I think that's the main reason a lot of people are here. But that's
true. So thank you, DeMuffin Muncher. Slayer ILS says Hadoom Pirate Island. Dude, Hadoom Pirate Island would be sick. Michael Shuza Kiwis.
Hadoom Pirate Island would be badass.
Shizukakowitz. Is it normal that I still get the transfer pop-up when I start my game even though I already applied for the transfer? PS, I am receiving the transfer login rewards. Yeah, they pop up everywhere. They're trying to make sure no one forgets. So they're just doing it over and over and over again for everybody all the time. Mineria says, on Global Labs, the Doom spots had all sorts of alerts for events, what is happening, plus difference in aura and dark sky. I guess that will be at least some of the warnings you get to not go there. As for the part where Frosty said it will show that a lot of skills don't have gaps and it is just desync at 1055. I don't think that these icons will be fair on that. Even on skills where the gap is in the skill description and intended. Example on Wheel of Fortune, the SA icon shows during the entire animation. It feels more like icons were plastered on purely on a skill basis, not based on the protections are actually occurring. As for central servers, seem to be forgetting Australia, New Zealand, as long as they're still part of the NAEU region. Moving the servers from the west coast will actually take it away from the center of the region. Oh, that's a fair point, but I wonder what percentage of the people are from there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Are we really going to not move servers based on the absolute minority of the minority population on the server? Like, there's people from EU that also play on NA. Are you saying that we shouldn't move it closer to those people on EU? Like, come on, that's silly.
I mean, maybe Wheel of Fortunes is incorrect, right? Like potentially Wheel of Fortune is not correct, but I completely reject the premise that it's only there as to show you if the skill has it or not. They 100% are showing where the lingers start and end. Like all of the icons do. There are way too many that are exactly on point with where your protection ends versus ones that the gap is not necessarily like shown. Like it's like way in favor. Like Why would Voltaic Pulse show the entire lingering animation super armor at the end of it? Why would Frigid Fog? Why would Dance Macabre end exactly where Dance Macabre ends with the icon? Like literally verbatim on all of it. Like it's Wheel of Fortune is the absolute outlier if it's incorrect, not the other way around. Mateo Audit says, I just want to see my character cheer for that 1 second before I get disappointed. Nayashi, me every time I drop a Narc earring or a Cagdom ring. Machoke to Machamp was the other Pokemon that evolved when traded. Oh.
Yeah, it was.
True.
It was Graveler, Machoke, and Kadabra.
30 minutes till Vel. Yeah, Kadabra,
Was there
Machoke.
a fourth one?
I thought Golem. I thought to get Golem you had to. Wait,
that's what Graveler turns into Golem.
Wait, was there a fourth one? Maybe it was like one of the legendary Pokemon. Sorry, I didn't hear you say Graveler. Oh, Haunter.
Yeah.
Haunter to Gengar.
Haunter, yes.
Or
Haunter
is it Ghostly?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, Ghastly turns into Haunter. Haunter turns into Gengar.
Yeah.
Ah, this takes me back.
Dude, the thing is, I never liked Gengar. I thought Ghastly and Haunter was so cool. I don't like my ghost getting legs and putting on weight. It's weird.
Why? He's always got a smile on his face, dude. He's so happy.
You guys want to see a duo disto attempt?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I always thought was weird about Pokemon?
Stream it.
Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is basically a human.
Mr. Mime, that's true.
Yeah.
He's the closest thing to human we have.
All right, Nash. It's only 11% chance, Nash. You put a stack on there. All right.
50-50?
Yep, 40 is the soft cap. Here we go.
All right, so...
You're crawling it, too. Reslar, as he has all the luck.
All right, Reslar.
I give my luck to other people when I count them down, and that's why I fail literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. It's gonna be 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, and it downgraded.
And it downgraded to base. You suck. You're so bad, Nayashi. Oh my god, dude.
Oh man, that hurts my feels.
Landon Call says you're invisible, so you can't be hit. Cries in Maywa Red Moon. Well, here's the thing. It's not that. If that's how I said it, I misspoke. It's only if you're supposed to have invincibility while you're invisible, you are invincible. It just doesn't show the icon. Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out the best way to elaborate that. If your nameplate isn't there, it's not going to show you the protection icon, even when you have a protection active at that moment. Toby Precise says 100k free pearls. I'm buying all the energy pots. Dude, 100k free pearls would be so epic, wouldn't
it? I mean, yeah. Be a lot of costumes on the market.
Dude. Yeah, there would. Dude, do you remember when costumes used to sit on buy like dozens on every class?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably going to happen again if they up the price. Lost 3 earrings right there, man. Dude, poor Nayashi. Joshua Heller says, do better, Reslar. He's not wrong. And Eumenidai says, I love this new iframe icon that always shows up while I'm grabbed. True, me too, dude. Me too. Yeah, that's kind of it. Reslar's over here just throwing a temper tantrum. What are you doing, Reslar?
Oh, I'm looking at protections on Succession Zerker because I don't know much about it.
Yeah, here, I'll show you some protections. You want to see good protections?
Like this is a frontal guard that lingers. Apparently, I didn't know that.
Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you some of the best ones. All right, let me swap here to Succession. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. Just want to get these 2 really, really important ones in here. Where squares. Let's see. Somersault, dash, buster. Where's the kick? Do I have it? Oh yeah. No wait, where's Oh, is it under secondary? Scissor kick, here we go. Okay. Oh, scissor kick's automatic. Alright, where are you at, Reslar?
Oh, I'm just at the hill.
Alright, here we go. Alright. SA. Now it's over. And Soul Basher, SA. Oh wait, do I have the wrong Soul Basher? Oh, I have Prime Soul Basher. Hold on. Oh wait, no. Wait. Why is it so short for me, dude? Where's my extension? Where's my linger, dude? Why is my linger so bad, dude?
You don't know how to
Oh,
linger,
you hold
dude.
it? Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, there you go. You literally hold it and you never not have SA. The icon stays forever.
Wait, that icon's still there the whole time?
The whole time, it never disappears. During this, it literally doesn't go away.
Oh, why? That's so
Just in
dumb.
case someone were to catch me, dude. Why should I have to be unsafe?
I mean, I have a similar thing, but because I'm a 3-minute class, I have to pop you buff for it. There we go. No, I'm SA.
Hold on, I need cooldowns. Okay. This is fun. Alright. I haven't played Mystic in so long. I forgot. I hate Soul Basher, by the way. Not because of the protection necessarily, but just that skill's so lame. Like, it just looks so dumb. Like, it doesn't do anything. It was just not a cool skill. I don't know. It's the lamest prime skill of all. I think that's it for the show. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up or talk about? Before we
no.
close out here?
Pretty sure that's everything. Next week, we'll rebrand this to a Valheim podcast because that's all I play now. I think that's it.
No, Vel's in 20 minutes. I don't know how we're gonna kill time for 20 minutes.
Nah, there's no way.
There's no way. No Vel today. But you know what? We will be back next week. It is episode 100. We would love if you guys would hang out with us and join us for that. I think it's gonna be cool as fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I think Nyashi had to be right back. We appreciate you guys commenting on the YouTube video. For anyone who has not participated in the podcast before, you leave a comment, we will read it on the show, regardless of how insulting it is to Reslar and the Mewa. So yeah, we thank you guys for the support over these 99 episodes. I'm excited to see you guys for episode 100 next week. I don't know. That's it. You want to thank the patrons and stuff, Res?
Yeah, well, we do that at the beginning of the show. I feel
Let's
like you
just
should know that
re-support them,
after.
dude. They've helped us last this long.
Apparently, we're changing things at triple digits suddenly without letting me know. I don't have the list pulled up, so.
Where's our producer, dude, on the spot?
Our producer, dude. Yeah, thanks to the patrons, thanks to and everybody else that supported us, you know. We'll make sure to talk about it more on actual episode 100, but shout out to the people who have been here from the beginning, because I know a lot of people have been. So shout out to those guys, and we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about our journey and all that stuff. Next week will probably be a nostalgia episode unless something huge comes out. Is what I'm thinking.
I do expect some news on Global Apps next week, since we didn't have a patch this week, and it's kind of been a while since we got something big.
Probably, yeah. So we'll see. Next week will probably be a big nostalgia week. We'll talk about the news, and then we'll kind of just go down memory lane. Maybe look at some old episodes or something, and laugh about it and shit. So anyway, yeah. Thanks to everybody who supported us over these years now, over 2 years, and yeah, we'll catch you next week.